We are live. Good. How you guys doing? What's up, guys? Let me just check everything's working. It is. We're gonna hit play. All right. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Let's see. Analytics. There we go. We got you guys pulled up. I have yet to play this game. Well, look, we have a free demo that's live. So if you don't want to spend money on it and you don't want to risk any cash at all, check out our Steam page. We've got good reviews. Better than the last game, certainly. You can scroll down here and you can see we've got a demo that's live. And I don't know why it's not showing up, but we have a free DLC as well. So if you have the game, you have a free DLC that just came out today. And if you want to join the Discord for the Master of Command game, you have a Discord link there. Okay. Is Endless Mode already added? Endless Mode is in, Alex. So you now, for anybody who didn't like the roguelike nature of the game, you can now play on endlessly. You have an endless campaign mode. In fact, I can very briefly, if you guys would like me to, if not, you tell me if you don't want me to, but I could very briefly go through this changelog, or just the important parts, I mean. The whole thing is pretty giant, but I can just tell you what the biggest changes are. Is there a way I can view? I guess this. Yeah, very quickly, we've got the HRE added to the game. They've got a new mustering stance. They've got 3 new armies you can play as. You've got new flags and emblems. You've got 2 new unit trees. I don't want to waste too much time on this because some people don't want to listen to changelogs. But yeah, you've got those. You got achievements. We have a new endless campaign mode. So you can keep playing on up to 30 regions and conquer Europe, which is pretty cool. With the endless mode, you can actually add on negative doctrines, which will make the game tougher. So you can scale the difficulty optionally as you play, which is pretty cool. You have new officer traits added to the game. We have new doctrines for the HRE. All of the unit trees for every nation in the game has been reworked. So Britain has 5 new new units. France has 6 new units. Russia has 10 new units. Austria has 7 new units. Prussia has 6. A lot of the army comps got some touch-ups as well. We've got reroll features, so you can reroll regions or traits that you don't like. Artillery got a few changes. Cavalry got some big changes. Battle changes. A lot of like the charging and shooting, just the combat overall got slowed down a little bit, which means that by the end of the game, it should be less lethal. I think what happened is the end game was quite lethal. And so by slowing the game down, the early game's a little bit grindy, just a little bit slow, but by the end game, the mid and end game are paced much better. So we sacrificed the early game just being a little bit on the slower end for the mid and late game, I think, being much better paced. And that goes super well with the new endless mode in the game. Where were we? There's a bunch of other stuff here, but yeah, let's see, little uniform changes, stat changes, modding changes. We did a little modding spotlight. AI army composition changes. Where's my little AI, or sorry, my workshop spotlight, my modding? Yeah, so we have a Kingdom of Sweden mod, so if you want to play as Sweden, there's a mod for it. If you want to play a Russian Peasant Rebellion mod, there's a mod for that too. If you want to play a US American Revolution mod, there's a mod for that. It's a really cool map as well. If you want to play a Spain mod, there's even a Spain Light, so you can just add it in with other mods. You can actually play Spain Light with Sweden, I'm pretty sure. You even have like an immobile HQ, so if you don't like the pressure, and you don't like the roguelike nature of the game, you can disable the HQ that pushes you, and you can play endlessly now. So that's all done. The addition of the Netherlands would be pretty interesting. Yeah, Netherlands could be cool in the future. Yeah, Spain, Portugal, and so on. Yep. Just hope there's going to be a big map overall so I can conquer more theaters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this game will have a big map expansion. I'm not sure. But we're going to play the HRE today. And either we can go Saxons, And the Saxons gain extra reservists while mustering. So when they do the muster stance, they can gain extra reservists. But they actually purchase regiments through reservists, not through their money. So you have to do a little bit of extra resource management to make sure you have enough reservists constantly in order to raise new regiments. Alternatively, we could go auxiliary corps, and they receive a random unit anytime they buy an officer. So you want to play into officers and find cheap officers, and you get lots of free units that way. If you buy a unit traditionally, they're just a lot more expensive. So you kind of want to hire officers, and a local regiment comes with them, basically. Or the Saxons, you get lots of extra reservists from mustering, and then you use those reservists to form them into new regiments, which is kind of a cool gameplay mechanic. And then you have the Christ contingent. I don't want to play them today because they're a little vanilla for me. They just gain extra combat effectiveness for every unique regiment. So the more diverse your army is, they become more powerful, which is kind of neat. Turkish language support just got added. Yes, Turkish language support did just get added with this update too. There's lots of languages. In case you're not an American, you can go to language here, and you've got Spanish, German, French, Russian, Chinese, Polish, Italian, Turkish. So yeah, lots of languages we've covered as well. But yeah, we've added a lot. I'm quite tired. Believe it or not, we did this entire update in 2 weeks. That's 10 days of work. Now, technically 14 because I worked over the weekends. But yeah, I'm real tired. I'm real fucking tired. Oh, sorry to curse. I know this is my main channel, so I shouldn't be swearing on the main channel. But no, I'm definitely a little tired, and the update's not perfect. There's going to be some bugs, and there's going to be some balance issues, but we're going to work those out in January. And the cool thing is, if you don't like my update, if you hate the things I changed, and you want to wait for a patch, you can actually go into the betas of the game and roll it back to the old December build, 1.12, and you can go revert that back and play the old version, especially if you want to continue an old save. So we are logging every major version of the game. If you ever want to roll back a save you don't like, or sorry, an update that you don't like, you can always go back. We're going to log every major change, so all of our updates will always be listed here. And if you don't like the way I'm balancing it, either you can get a mod or you can roll it back. So yeah. Anyways, do you guys want to see the Saxon army or the auxiliary corps? Also, I know it sounds maybe it's weird I'm doing a live stream about the game, and I made news that I'm ending my channel, or at least I'm not making new content, and I haven't really addressed that. I will talk about that more in depth in January. I will talk about that more in January. What else is there to say, though? Yeah, I don't know. I won't delete the channel. I'm just not making new videos anymore, so... Which I know is a big deal, but I'll talk about that more in January. But yeah, I think auxiliary... has a nice passive bonus, but there is something... I will say this. I like the auxiliary units better. Like Palatine's pretty cool, Bavarian's pretty cool, right? So I like this theme a little bit more, but I also like on Saxony... Here's the thing. The mustering generates reservists. You use reservists to buy regiments. So if I can abuse the mustering system and hoard a crap ton of manpower, the reservists, I could mass expand like a very powerful army. So I think there are some exploits I can pull off with the Saxons, which could be kind of funny to see. So if you want to see kind of an exploit run, I can try that with the Saxons. I don't know if it'll work that much. I haven't had a lot of time to play test, especially I haven't had a lot of time to play test weird, wacky strategies. But auxiliary is probably a little more conventional, besides for the fact that you're hunting officers, which is kind of it is a good play style, but there's not much more you can exploit beyond finding cheap officers. But Saxons, I've got some exploits up my sleeve, I think, with them. So let me know what you guys prefer. I do think I will be going Martial difficulty, or at least Brigadier. Probably Brigadier. I don't know if I want to go Martial. Martial's a little tough. It's every single difficulty modifier stacked. I'd probably go Brigadier. I think it probably sounds a little better. But yeah, what are you guys thinking? I'll put up a poll, and which army, if you want to see the Saxons or the Auxiliary Corps. Oh, thank you, Lazy Man, for the $5. Do you plan to make a U.S. Civil War campaign? Honestly, Lazy, I kind of would prefer to make a DLC about the American Civil War more than I would about, like, the French and Indian War. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, it's a 7 Years' War game. When's the French and Indian War coming? I kind of would rather make, like, I love the American Civil War, so I'd love to do an American Civil War DLC. I would love doing that. Especially because there's a region effect. called the Scorched Earth, and everything's like burning down in Act 3 of this game. And that works so perfectly for like Sherman's March to the Sea. You could have like the Union Army marching through and all the towns are burning. And it's very thematically appropriate. Like it's actually abstracted in this game that you can go to towns and just buy local regiments. That's kind of weird, right? But in the Civil War, it actually makes sense. You could go to a local American town and rally up some volunteers. Like I kind of feel like the Civil War fits super well. Anyways, not to get overly excited about it, but I think the game's been getting a little stale for me because I've worked on it for 2 years. So I'm just like, anything new and super refreshing would be great for me at this point. And but beyond just adding more European 18th century factions, doing a little Civil War mod would be kind of a fun break, especially if the regiments were like 1,800 men, like big blocks of brigades. That'd be pretty fun. Designing all the flags, representing different unique regiments. Pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, seems like people are voting for Saxony. We're going to go Saxony, and I'm going to try some exploits. Do you guys want to see Brigadier or Marshal difficulty? Either you can watch me struggle and maybe fail on Marshal, or Brigadier probably just scrape by, and you can let me know what you'd prefer. Brigadier or Marshal is hard, and Marshal is expert. I can also enable a difficulty modifier for a cheat. So if you want to see one easy modifier, I could throw one in case you wanted to see like extra starting resources or extra veterancy gain or extra morale, campaign speed, or even delaying the HQ back a little bit. We can go with any of those. But yeah, let me know what you guys prefer. Seems like most of the crowd's leaning on Brigadier. Got 31 votes in so far. Okay, let me see what the vote is. It's mainly for Brigadier. And does anybody want to see any easy modifiers, or do you just like just going with the standard hard mode here? What are you guys thinking? How much space does Master Command take? I will find out for you, sir. This game will take up 10 gigabytes exactly. It used to be a little smaller, but I think the DLC kind of expanded it a bit. Is there Grape Shot? Yes, there is Grape Shot. We have Grape Shot and Canister Shot. We have Canister Shot, Double Canister Shot, and Grape Shot. And then for the infantry, you have Solid Shot, Quartered musket rounds, Buckshot, and Buck and Ball, which is pretty cool. So you have lots of different ammo types you can kind of play into. All right, we're gonna go Brigadier. We'll play. I don't want to do Iron Man in case there's a bug. I'll revert it. Let's go for it. Sorry to stall so long. I also love gimmicks. So if you guys want to see me like overinvest into one strategy or really lean into melee or cavalry or skirmishers or play into one trick, I do enjoy doing that sometimes. All right, so that's our army. We'll get to that in a sec. We can raid Silesia, we can go to Brandenburg, or we can go to Franconia. One thing I do want to do, you know what, I'll fight the Prussians. Do you guys want me to turn on all the enemies so we can fight anybody, or do you just want me to fight Prussia and Britain? Sometimes I like to have some variety, but it's more thematically appropriate to only fight the Prussians. So we can kind of go either way. While you guys decide, I can read what kind of doctrine we want to go for. I kind of want to just enable all enemies. I'm going to go back and do that really quickly. I like to have all enemies on. And it's a kind of a tutorial for anybody who wants to see. So basically what you can do is you can go here, turn off the historical enemies, and then it already pre-selects the last difficulty you had. So look, now if you go in, we saw before it was only having Prussia and Prussia and Britain. Now we've got like a Prussian-Russian combined force, which is kind of cool there in Brandenburg. Or we can go to Thuringia or Bohemia. I'm really liking the doubled force here, which seems fun. But they have drilling, which our faction can't drill, so we don't want to use that. So I'll probably re-roll it. I like the new reroll feature. Light cavalry combat effectiveness, officer morale, melee damage. What kind of gimmick do you guys want to go for? Do we want to go like shooting or charging or melee or cav or artillery spam, or what's kind of like a fun gimmick you guys think would be cool to play into? And then we can pick a doctrine that we can try to min-max with. You guys want to see cavalry? By the way, I'll probably stream for like an hour and a half, I think. So that's, I think, what I'm going to do. I think my wife is home, so I'm just going to say hi as well. Hey Kelly, I'm doing my stream.
Hello.
What's up?
Christmas presents.
Yeah, I don't think anything's open, but yeah. Hi Ben. Hi do Benji. Hi do. He's happy. Are you happy, Kel?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you had dinner?
I have not.
No.
You're a hunglet?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be done my stream in an hour, which is a little bit long.
Is there anything I can, because I'm gonna be wrapping gifts.
Oh,
today.
the lasagna. That's
Oh.
easy.
Oh, and it takes exactly 1 hour.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd throw in that lasagna.
I can make lasagna.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get to it. I just started.
Would you like this blazer?
Yes, Blazer's very nice. Mm-hmm. Very professional. You can call him. He's.
Bella. Benji.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Alrighty, guys. So people were saying cavalry, some kind of spam. People want to see cavalry. Okay. So we could go with, look at that, Austro-Prussian force and grab the light cavalry combat effectiveness with a dragoon. I mean, I think that's perfect, isn't it? That's perfect, right? Let's do that. That's a unique doctrine as well. Okay, let's go for it. It's hard to get the game volume right, by the way, so let me know if it needs to be louder or quieter or whatever. All right, I'm going to try a strategy, okay? I'm going to try a risky strategy, which I call debt maxing, okay? So we're going to use a debt maxing strategy, and it is kind of exploity, but it's fun, and I like that it's in the game. So here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to take this artillery. I'm going to give it the Geschwindstück because it's a very good cannon, so we're going to upgrade that. We're going to sell that off. We don't need it. Coffee rations, we're going to sell it off, unfortunately. In fact, we're going to sell off everything here. I wonder if there's anything that we want to keep. Maybe something for the Cav. But you know what? I think if we're debt maxing, guys, we got to lean into the debt maxing, okay? So we are debt maxing. Here we go. What we're going to do first is, you know what? Let me equip the cavalry stuff for now. And I'm going to unequip it. Yeah. After this battle, I'm going to unequip it. So let's fight a battle first. We're not going to debt max just yet. Okay. We got cheap artillery here. Doesn't really matter. Fewer items at shops. That kind of sucks. Cheap officers. Doesn't really matter. Anything good? Cheap food. Cheap food would have been good. But we're not going to get it right now. Yeah, not many great conditions I'm seeing. So we're going to fight this initial depot. So what's kind of cool is, for anybody who doesn't know, so we have the Army in Exile. Mustering generates 60% more reservists. So when we muster, which is a new stance, you're generating manpower, or what we call reservists, every day. And as Saxony, you gain even more. So we're going to gain a lot of these reservists every day we muster. And I'm going to show you that mechanic after we fight this battle. And then as a national doctrine, we get mustering as a new feature, but there's less recruitment options. And one last thing I'll note is regiments must be purchased using reservists. So we want to build up that pool as quickly as possible. So what we do is if we went into the supply post, we can actually free these prisoners and get reservists. And that will that pretty much turns into money because we're going to use that to buy units. But not just yet. Now we're going to fight these guys. We've got 2 cavalry, 2 infantry there. There we go. Oh yeah, you like real blocks. You like the auxiliary cities. They're pretty cool, right? Because you can recruit locals now. So there's a new regional or town condition called auxiliary recruitment, and it means you can buy local troops. So if you liked some of the German HRE troops, but you're playing as Prussia, you can actually recruit them if you get lucky at a certain town. So you could like pick up some local Bavarians or something, which is neat. Let's turn free camera on and adjust. It's a little too fast. Let's try that. That works. So we've got artillery. Let's put them on the hill. We've got chevaux légers. Let's put them back there. We've got our Saxon veteran. They look pretty cool. Veteran musketeers. And then we've got Friedrich Michael, our general. So we're immediately going to open fire. Let's see if we get any kills here. Let me close something up, by the way. Sorry, I got a bunch of stuff open. Let me just close it out. There we go. And then I think I want to go, if I'm not already, I want to go into borderless window. Ooh, that's better. All right, much better. 46 kills on the first shot. Beautiful. 56 actually, because I think a cannonball bounced and killed a cavalryman. Yeah, one of the cannonballs bounced over and hit one. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're gonna move up our infantry. I like how fast they are. They're a lot more fluid. I made all the units in the game faster for this update, so infantry should be a lot more fluid. Look how you can just turn them, and they just quickly will respond. I will move up to this little forest and then draw like a battle line through it and see if I get just a little bit of cover from it. I'll have the Chevaulegers come back behind them. I can name the regiments. Yeah, I just want to fight this battle first. All right, let's see if we get a little bit of cover. If we don't get cover, I'm going back to the hill. Yeah, not much, not much cover in there. Okay, let's go back to the hill, guys. It's too small. It's like 6 trees, so it's not going to help us out too much. Luckily, these the artillery's doing pretty good. We're going to form up a really thin line there. There we go. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's fast forward. Let's catch our breath a little bit. There we are. I'm going to hold fire with T. So T is the hotkey. You can hold fire. And look at that. We've already done a lot of damage with that cannon. I might switch over to canister shot on my next shot. And I'm keeping my guys on hold fire because I want to save this shot until they're close. I guess that's as close as they're going to get, so I'll return fire. Nice, 71 kills, beautiful. And they're stuck in the lake a little bit. If you're stuck in the lake, it'll drain a little more stamina when you're fighting, if you're in a forest or like some water. So that will help us a little bit. I don't want these guys to target the cavs, so I'm going to swing them around. I'm also going to swap over to canister. And then I need to move the infantry over so canister has room to fire. So yeah, we're gonna pivot and then let these guys fire canister shot. You can customize uniforms. Yes, we can customize some uniforms after this battle. So if anybody doesn't know, you can customize the flags and the uniforms and the names of your men. So we can do that afterwards. All right, we're taking a little bit of damage. There we go. We've repositioned. And then we're going to continue firing on this target because I want them to rout. You can see that blue morale bar. We want that to go down. So there's a closer target, closer within our effective range, so we'll do more damage. But look at the canister. Beautiful. Look how low the morale is already. So now if we open fire, maybe even get the cav in. They've got carbines. But I want to save those carbines. I'm going to hold fire because they've got their cavalry coming in. And there's a lot of cav. So I'm going to hold fire and keep that shot ready to fire into their cavalry. Because that's going to be a tough battle. I am playing on the harder difficulty, so there's always extra units I have to fight. Gosh, they're so close to breaking. I'm going to switch targets to the right. And now that they're so close to breaking, once that canister shot is ready, the canister should break them. Let's see. Ready, and fire. Beautiful. There's that retreat. And then I'm going to hold fire. I'm going to reload, and then hopefully we can use some canister against some cavalry. I did increase, German Empire, I did increase the cavalry size, I did. Yeah. They just fell off a lot in the late game. They were like 400 guys per regiment, and they just really fell off, so. All right, I'm actually going to hold fire. So you see how I have that red X and that red arrow that was targeting them went away? It's because I held fire. I'm going to wait for that reload bar to finish because I can see that cavalry is gunning it toward me, and I want to save the volley for point blank and save this volley too. So everybody's on hold fire, and I'm going to time my shots and get everything to happen point blank. That's what we want to do. So we're waiting. Charge is coming in. I'm going to fire the shot now so I can get my charge off because that momentum bar is going to fill and it does extra charge damage. I don't want to wait to charge. So I want to fire, get my bar. See, my bar is full. So that means I'm going to deal damage on the charge. They came in. I've got my general here. I'm going to use the canister shot and fire while I can, because otherwise it's going to get blocked by the infantry. And I'm going to fire at the same time. Actually, I'm going to hold fire there. Let's fire canister shot. Oh, nice. The canister's fantastic. And you know what? Let's fire at them in the back. Just so they can't come back. They kind of got out of range. All right, hold fire and switch targets. Let's switch over to these guys there. And then how is our... Oh, we already routed that cavalry. Perfect. So we're doing great. And then what's their melee stats? They have a 20 melee. I have 38. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to form an attack column. So if you draw dense formation, look at that charge. 37. It used to be what? 27? So you can get all the way up. 36. 36. Let's go a little denser. 35. You kind of have to find a little sweet spot. I guess that works there. And then we can bring the general behind and then do a charge and route that infantry. And then we want our cav to kind of follow these guys down and take him out. All right, we are formed up. We're ready to charge. So we're going to push them, and we are going to maybe eat a volley on him. Oh, we got there in time. Look, they were so close to reloading, but we got there. And look at the morale. There we go. And we'll bring the general by. And our artillery kind of doesn't have any targets left. Now, if you switch ammo, you lose. You have to re-reload. But 500 kills is fantastic on that artillery. There we go. I think we won. Beautiful. Is the supporter edition going to be updated? I believe it did get updated, and if it didn't, it will. YouTube censorship sucks. Honestly, Jeremy, the reason to stop doing YouTube has nothing to do with YouTube censorship. It really doesn't. All right. So we gained some money. Now we want to gain what from this battle? We want to gain reservists, right? Let's see what we got. We can get 92 provisions, not very much. Not that interesting to me. 1,000 reservists, that sounds pretty good. Or get $100 and some ammo. I don't need the ammo that much. Ammo would be good, and money is decent. I could do some math. 105 times 8 would be 840. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, ransoming is not bad because I barely suffered any losses. So that 10% casualty restoration is not going to be that much. Yeah, $100 buys that many reservists. I'll be honest, guys. I think the prisoner rewards need a little rebalancing because this option for ransoming is very powerful right now. So, yeah. But ransoming is definitely the right call in this case. So abuse it while you can. It's a little exploity. The ransoming is a little too powerful. Especially because you're getting the money plus a ton of ammo. I mean, look, I get all the ammo refilled plus some left over. You get way too much. And then I need to refill my losses. That's fine. I'm going to unequip my stuff, which I know is sad. But we are going to unequip. And by the way, just to show the customization, check this out. You can open this up. And look at that. Get all these patterns, all these emblems. We can go with anything. We can go with a Turkish theme. Go Maltese or Byzantine, whatever we want. Is there a particular theme you guys want to go? There's like Palatine, Bavarian, Württemberg. You could do like American or Scottish or anything we really want to. I suppose role playing into the Saxons would be nice enough though. They get this, I think, right? Yeah, I like the uniform already. I mean, this uniform looks good as it is. I might want to make the blue a little brighter. It could be like nice to have a bright blue. And the pom-poms could be like more of a yellow. Trousers are already kind of that yellow color. I like this. I like it how it is. Go black. That's nice. I mean, I like this here. They look pretty cool. I like the red and green there. I mean, that looks great. I might give them the pink flag to match. That looks neat. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And you can rename your regiments too. So if anybody wants a regiment named after them, let me know. And you can tell me your name and I'll name something after you. I like to name the regiments though after like names and not do you guys want historical regiments? I can name them. I can bring up the Saxon Order of Battle and name them after historical regiments. There's a great website called Chronoskoph, which, by the way, I don't know if they're still doing it. Oh, look, yeah, they advertise our game, which is really cool. So what you can do on Chronoskoph, I'll put a link here. You can actually go into armies, and we can go to Saxony, and you have all these articles here. And look, you can actually form your infantry and everything. You can actually click into any regiment, and my god, they have all the information about their uniforms and stuff. Isn't that cool? So we can go with this light blue regiment because that's what we're already doing with these guys. And look, we can just match the flag, right? So why don't we change this to the gold color and then change the outside to, what is that? I guess it'd be like that. And then on the inside, it's white. Ah, look at that. I'm matching the one on the left. I like that. And their uniform is pretty much exactly what we've got. Probably just a lighter blue, but I'm quite happy with it. So this is the Prince Xaver infantry. Pretty cool. Saxon artillery doesn't need a name. The Chevalier, let's see if we can come up with a cooler name for them. We could do Prince Karl or Albrecht. Who has a cooler uniform? That's Karl, and that's Albrecht wears black and green. That's kind of neat. I like the black and green. He's already wearing black, so let's give him the green facings. We'll go light green. And, I mean, he's already pretty customized. What's his trousers? Trousers are already correct. Waistcoat is correct. How's the flag? Let's do the white flag. I think the white flag. Black and white is a nice color combo. So it's got a different kind of emblem. I don't think I have this one, unfortunately. But we can do the one on the right, which is the big R, which is that one. And then we could do a white background. And then where's the... It's kind of like a gold trim, but we don't really have one too much like that. So we could do something like this, or... That has some gold in it. In fact, you could even do that. Honestly, the one on the red now is kind of seeming more appealing, isn't it? Why don't we combine them a little bit? Red and white, right? That's a good combination. I like that. And then we'll call them the Prince Albrecht Chevalier. There. All right, now we're going to do debt maxing, guys. This is what I call debt maxing, so pay attention if you want like an exploit. I don't know if it really works that well, but we're going to try it, okay? Again, I haven't really practiced it, so watch this. We're going to go in, and is there any place that has cheaper resale? I don't really think so. So we're going to resell for what we can. Okay. So we're going to go in and sell off everything. Okay, we're going to get as much money as we possibly can. There we go. So we got a lot of cash going. We're going to open up this 3rd brigade. There we go. We don't have enough for the 4th. We have 3 brigades. Now, what's important about that strategy is with mustering, you have a 4% chance of raising a free recruit unit per day of mustering. It increases by 1 per day, 1% per day, and plus 4% if you're next to a settlement, so next to Aussicht. Gain a free point of veterancy on recruits raised through mustering per brigade in army. So if we have 1, 2, 3 brigades, it means if you're by a city and you get the free recruit and you have 3 brigades, he comes with 3 veterancy. So you get a high veterancy free recruit. Now here's the downside of this. It's going to cost $5 per day. So we're going to lose our money. Now you can go into debt. Okay, so that's why I call it debt maxing. So we are willingly going to go into debt. Now the dangerous thing about debt is when you're in debt, you can't buy any food or ammo. That's a big problem, right? What's cool about Saxony, though, is you buy units using reservists. So it doesn't matter if you're in debt. If you get enough reservists, you're going to be able to buy units that way. And guess what? We gain, what does it say? 25 reservists per day, per regiment, plus 60%. So you're going to gain a bunch of reservists, which we can buy to use to buy another unit. And it doesn't matter if we go into debt. Now, here's the one thing. What happens if we starve? We don't want to starve, right? So we're going to use the rest of our cash to buy food. I think that's what we want to do. Really food and manpower, but mostly food. Because the more food we have, the longer we can debt max for, okay? So we're going to do that. And then I might use a little bit, get a little bit more manpower. I think 500 food's good, though. I don't have much else I can spend. I can raid for food. That's exactly right. So you can do a little raiding. And look, we have raiding to get the Polish-Saxon Union. So this is Saxonomics. That's right, yeah. So we will begin mustering. And we're going to muster as we go for convoys. So we're going to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Now I want to gain this percentage up a little bit. See how it's 4, 8%. Let's get up higher. See how we're in debt. 16. Now that we're at about 20%, now I'm ready to go out into the wilderness. And we're going slower, but at least we're trekking along. And look, there's our first free recruit. 3 veterancy. Fantastic. Let's keep it moving. So we are putting out the call. Now, if we're not by a settlement, see how the percentage is much slower, 4, 6, 8. And we want to keep an eye on the food, but we're gaining reservists this whole time, too. Let's go to the convoy. Treasury. All right, that's perfect. Likely chance of facing a weak field army. 1 day passes. Are we willing to fight a battle while we're debt maxing? I don't know if we are, but it could be good. It could be okay. We could maximize the cash we gain. Fight a weak field army. There it is. 7,500, goddamn. We might retreat from this. So it may not have been worth it. Let's see if we could fight it. Let's see. We'd have to fight 3 recruits. What are you looking for, Cal?
Can I take some wrapping?
Wrapping paper? Of course, yeah.
And tape. I completely ran out.
Anything you want in here, you can take. I don't think there's any spoilers. Yeah.
Do we have
Any
any stickers?
stickers? Yeah, there's stickers there. Yeah, all over. You can take anything you want from here. Yeah, so it said weak field army, but I'm playing on a hard difficulty, so it's weak is kind of relative with that. But let's see, we'd have 2 hussars to face. My cavalry could beat them, and we'd have to fight these guys, or we take 10% attrition. I might take the loss, honestly, guys. I might take the loss because I wanna just lean into that debt. We lose 600 manpower. That's not bad. We're gonna try to escape. Yeah, that wasn't even that bad. I made retreating a lot less punishing. Oh, what happened here? Is my stream still up? It says my stream is down. Do you guys see me? This says my stream's down. Okay, that's weird. I'm just gonna close stuff out. It's because I had Unity open. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, and now I'm gonna pass by this city. See, I'm getting more recruits. I'm gonna pass by this city. Okay, and then we gotta run. We are going to force march and just sprint away. Let's grab 1 muster by the town and force march again. Grab the convoy. Yeah, that was a blunder, having that army. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take the money this time. Okay, now we're in a better spot. We're out of town. We have 3,000 manpower, so we could actually buy another unit, which I think it's not a bad call to buy him. You know what, guys? Watch this. Here's an idea. I can borrow a unit. I can borrow him. Do you know why I can borrow him? Because it's 1,600. It's 1,600 manpower for only 1,600 cost. So if I borrow him, I can delete him and get that manpower back after the battle. So I can diminish the guy I just bought down to 1,000 or whatever and buy another one. And I want to delete these guys after because they don't come with veterancy. So I want to delete them after. They're not very good. So I have these 2 guys. And let's just do that. In fact, can we just raise them back up? There. So now I can actually fight that battle. Look, I have 8,400. Yeah, get over here. So we had a little hiccup. But yes, we were able to use those reservists to grab some extra units there. Okay, sorry for the typing. Okay, so we've got all these Crownlanders and Freikorps. So we got a little Freikorps there, a Crownland in the center, some Freikorps Hussars, Jaegers. We're going to go up on the hill and have our solid shot ready. We got lots of farmland to build around. And here's the thing. I care about my Prince Xaver, and I care about my Chevalier. I don't care about any of these other guys. I do care about the 3 veterancy Saxon recruit. I want to get him up to 5 veterancy, then he can get promoted. So he's going to be a frontliner. These dudes are all going to get probably disbanded. He has 3 veterancy, so I'll keep him. These guys are going to get disbanded. So they're just going to hold the flanks and just be 2 little safety nets. Leander, the buying troops with manpower is just a gimmick with the DLC with this faction. It's just for this faction. This guy, Prince Xaver, he's already a veteran infantry. I don't need the veterancy on him, so I'm going to keep him in reserve. And so the two main guys that are going to fight this battle are these recruits in the front, and then I've got these guys who are just going to hold my flanks. And even if these dudes get really beat up, that's fine. I'll drain the reservists from them and disband them and give them to my main units. But what's important is that we get these veterancies up to 5 and 5. So these guys need the veterancy. These guys don't. So they're just there to basically be meat bags on the sides and not see much combat. They're basically reserve regiments. And then I'm going to have Xaver kind of in the back center in case we get overrun. And then we're going to form up line on these hedges like that. And I'm going to keep these guys in a denser formation so that they're maneuverable on the edges there. There we go. And let's keep the general up close. Does Atri have skirmishers? They do on the Württemberg side. I actually haven't shown you the unit tree yet, so I will need to do that. I need to bring in the cav and probably try to charge down those Jaegers, but look, we've got cavalry on two sides flanking at the moment. Okay, we need to turn. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to turn there. All right, we have a little bit of a threat with that cavalry on both far flanks. So, what do we want to do? What I kind of... Who's a bigger threat? These guys have a Bible and a saddle. They've got buck and ball, but no guns, so they're less of a threat. 35 morale versus 35, so they're about the same. 50... How's their swords? Swords are identical. 51-26, 56-28. That guy's more of a threat on the left. So, if he's more of a threat, Xaver is going to come over. And try to protect that while my Cheval Leger are going to protect this dude. That is our... Damn, they're doing some deep flanking right now. All right. They're going to charge there. We're going to fire. Good. I'm going to counter charge and hit them. Good. Damn, that's a deep flank. Okay, we routed that cav. Let's now form up our crappy recruits, and our cavalry is going to come back. I'm going to move the commander back to refill all that morale he lost, because we have another cavalry who we have to worry about next. So we're going to move him back and see how we're just refilling that morale, and it goes faster up if the general's nearby. This dude's going for a deep flank, man. Let's get Xaver to go. Okay, here they come. Let's not... They want that artillery bad. I'm going to stand on the hill. I'm going to fire. Am I braced? I only have 10% brace, so we're actually going to get hit a little hard here. We did get to fire at point blank, and we fired our carbines on the right. And then I'm going to charge in. Luckily, we actually held pretty well. If you're in a dense formation like that, you will repel charges easier than if you're in a thin line formation. So the density of that... It was kind of like a pseudo-square formation, right? Because we were kind of in a block, and that really repelled them, which is very good for us. I'll move back to regular speed. And I move the general back to the main part of the combat. And then we'll have to take care of these Jaegers, because, look, they got a positive KDR. How's our artillery doing? Let's refocus there. You know what's going on? My stream is streaming in 4K right now, and that's a problem. So I'm lagging a little bit, because it's trying to stream me in 4K, which you are not meant to stream in 4K. So let me just go check this. Yeah, that's not good. Let's see if I could change it in the settings. Video 3840. Yeah, no. Hold on. I'm gonna... The stream is gonna go up and down really quickly. Ready? So just 2 seconds. Okay. That should be good. Do you guys see me? I think you should see me. But hopefully that improves it. Because it was trying to stream it in 4K. Yeah, there we go. We're back. Yeah, I'm already doing a lot better. Alright, let's have these guys focus fire there. Oh, do not charge, buddy. Those Jaegers are hurting because there's an officer attached. Where's the artillery firing? Let's focus fire the artillery there. This way we have 3 units firing on them. Next volley, I could even switch to canister and open up a little slot for them to fire in. Let's spread these guys out. These guys are tired. So they need to finish reloading and just hang back. And Prince Xaver could probably charge the Freikorps and overwhelm that left flank there. But I'm glad we're dealing with this army. Because these guys were following us around, being real annoying. And I said I wanted to switch to canister, didn't I? So let's switch over and reform these guys there. And that should give us a little opportunity to fire canister in. Oh, perfect. They turned for us. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We don't even need the cover because they're engaging the guys in the forest. There, now the canister shot's firing. It's a little bit outside the effective range. I might move the cannons up a little bit. Get them a little closer. Yeah, you do need to rest on roads. If you rest on roads, you gain stamina faster. If you rest in a forest, you'll gain stamina slower. If you rest on a road, you gain it faster. So roads are very important to regain, like, condition. And I've got these guys loaded up in attack column. What I think I'll do is fire on these guys on their flank. Let these guys fire one more volley and do, like, a fire in advance. So watch this. They're going to shoot. I'm going to rush forward in front of them, fire again, and then charge and get rid of those guys. I got my canister shot, so it's causing these guys to start wavering. And now look, now that I'm in front, we're going to fire a shot. Charge them. Charge them. There we go. Beautiful. And look at that. Retreated. And then the Chevalier are going to stalk them. Now, Xaver, I don't need them to get experience, so Xaver is going to fall back. These guys are going to continue being in the thick of it. You see the 267 kills. We don't want anybody getting that many kills. We want our recruits in the front getting those kind of kills. So we're going to move these guys up. They're a little tired, so I could take them off the line. See all their stats are getting debuffed? I could take them off the line, but I don't think I need to. Gosh, could I fire any more canister? Not really. I'm going to have to switch back to solid shot. Also, if you use canister, it consumes more ammo, 150%. So you see how it burned through a lot of ammo to get those extra kills. So we're going to switch back to solid shot. I'm going to move these guys up. I don't really care if they get much kills. I really want my other recruits to get the kills, though. And I'm going to try firing at the same target. I do want to just knock that flank down and use these guys to charge out the retreating units. What I'm going to do is send these guys in for a charge. Hold fire. Hold fire. Go in. We'll gobble them up. Anybody who retreats gets... Oh, shoot. Uh-oh. They came back. And they're pissed off. That is not good for us. Wow, the stat differences. Oh, I got cocky, didn't I? Gosh, I don't know what I want to do with that. I guess we just got to go in for the charge and just get as much damage off as we can. Yeah, we're going to get hurt. We got routed. Luckily, we get a little speed buff if you run away. So we got a speed buff. They're coming back. Xaver's going to form line. I'm glad they did not pursue. Sometimes the AI will pursue you and kill every last guy. So they were really generous to us. I'm getting these guys in to fight the Jaegers to try to rack up kills. These guys I need to rack up kills, so they're going in too. I don't care if they take losses. That's okay. I'm going to hold fire. Wait for those Hussars to cross. Leander, if the DLC isn't working, what you want to do is you want to fully exit Steam. So you want to go to Steam here and hit exit and fully shut it down. And if that doesn't work, reinstall the game. I'm going to turn off volley fire, meaning fire whenever you're ready, and then tell them to fire as soon as they can. Good shot, guys. Let's hold. Hold. There you go. We got it. We got it. And our cavalry is retreating, but we're in a big melee brawl in the center. Everyone's tired, as you can see. So no one's really hurting each other. They're all poking each other with sticks. We're going to let them kind of brawl it out. I'm going to make sure the artillery is, yeah, not firing. It's out of ammo anyways. Those recruits fell back. I'm going to bring up the general. I'm just going to let these guys keep fighting. Can I bring over... Can I rally... I rally the cav. So we could have that cavalry come in and rear charge. That'd be great. Help them out. Help those recruits. Come on, guys. Everyone's tired as hell. That's the thing. we have any... I have these guys. I can send them in. I just want the correct units getting the experience. There we go. They're breaking. We force them out. Okay, I think we got it. Beautiful. Yeah, I didn't want to send the commander in because you want the specific units to gain the experience. You want the right units to gain it. Okay, we gain the money, so we're already out of the debt, by the way, from that debt maxing. And then we want to... I could gain the veterancy. I don't need it right now, though. I think we want to gain the Tollers. That's so much ammo. That's a crazy amount of ammo. I do actually like the reservist option, though. But... yeah, no, the ammo is overpowered. It's way too high. So if you're playing the game... that ransom option is a little overpowered right now. I don't know how it got changed. I think Thomas must have convinced me. Thomas is the lead developer, that he needed more ammo, and I probably bumped it up without checking as much. We are going to sell everything again. Again, we're going with the debt maxing, so we want lots of cash. Gosh, could I afford? Could you imagine if I could afford another brigade? Get a fourth one? I don't think I can. But here's what we're going to do. These Imperial recruits we don't care about. We are going to disband them and get all that stuff back, and we get the weapons back. We're just going to sell those off. And then, who are the other recruits? These guys I don't care about either. These guys I like. See how we gave them experience? They're level 3. These dudes are level 4 now. That's great, because look, level 5 and you're already a musketeer. We could even go artillery, but I want to get these good musketeers up. So I'll probably get rid of this other Imperial recruit. He's only a level 1, right? We don't want that. So we're going to disband them and get all that reservist back. And then we could always grab another guy if we needed to. But we're going to go back toward... we're going to use those reservists we got back to refill our losses. And mustering will replenish you 50% faster. So we're going to get back up to full strength 50% faster. I'm going to muster again. Get a little head start from the village and slingshot out. Oh, there's a patrol. Luckily, I just got a recruit as a patrol came in. He's going to want to fight us. Can anyone get an upgrade? Not really. I did get lucky. If I didn't have that extra recruit, that would have sucked. Gosh, I really... I'll fight him. Just a handful of recruits, not bad. I do have low health, but I have that extra recruit I just mustered. What I kind of want to do is I'm getting close to 1,200. If I can open up the 4th Brigade slot, I will get 4 veterancy per... 4 veterancy per muster that I get. So that could be very powerful if I can pull that off. I don't know if I can. There's a little bug, by the way. The mustering drum sound will play in a battle sometimes, and that's what's happening now. But just ignore that. Luckily, we've got a hill, which will improve our accuracy by 10%, which is very nice. We got a little town we're going to fight through. Chevalier on the side. Xaver doesn't need to fight much. We want these Saxon recruits right in the middle. They want to get the most experience. These new Saxon recruits, we want them to get experience. And then these guys too. So we're going to form like 3 sorts of firing lines there. And I don't want to be fighting in that marsh on the left. So we're going to come at an oblique. Maybe even like that to line up on the hedge. We've got the artillery ready. In fact, I might even space out on purpose to leave a gap from which canister shot could fire through this little gap there. And then Xaver's in reserve if we need them. And the cavalry's going to go long. No, not even long. I'm just going to knock out the Jaegers. I'm going to hit them as quick as I can. Now, melee in this patch is longer than it used to be. So you can't just slam into a light infantry unit and get a free kill as easy as it was before. So we still have a slight advantage here, but we took a little damage on the way in, so we're going to pull out. All right, we've got our general. I'm going to cycle that charge one more time. One more. Now you're burning through stamina. You see I'm already going to get tired if you cycle charge too much. So it's not as exploity as maybe you might think, because we're tiring ourselves out. I'm firing the artillery into my own guys, which is not a good idea. Probably want to fire it maybe there. Notice that the battleground is a city outskirt like your position was. Yes and no, user. So I made these maps myself, and I tag them. I tag every map with certain characteristics. This is tagged as village, and you are right though. Just because our army was in a village, it did pick the map for that reason. However, the reason I want to say yes and no is sometimes there will be a map that has a river in it or that has a forest that won't always correlate to where you are in the campaign map. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to give the game more variety. And if the game was really selective about the maps it gave you, then you'd never play on like a map with tons of marshes, because there aren't a lot of marshes that you can find on the campaign map. So there are many cases like this that we're fighting in a village, like we are actually positioned in a village, but sometimes it won't always work out that way. So I don't want you to get too excited on that feature. Oh, damn. Because it won't always work that way. I might just charge the general in, because they're so close to breaking. Let's see if I can break them. There we go. I got him. And then I got to go rally the cavalry, so we're going to run back. I don't really have that open slot for the canister I wanted. We are engaging, though, over there. And the enemy's flanking on the left. We'll get that cavalry back. There we go. And they need to rest. Oh, a nice little... Is that a nice little canister opening? I can move myself up. And let's see if we can get some canister shot. I'm going to move up. It is battalion artillery, so we're going to crawl this thing up. And there we go. Hi, Bottle Rocket. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate that, man. That's very kind of you. Buying this for my cousin's Christmas gift. Is there historical evidence for Austria using the black and yellow bar instead of the HRE flag? Instead of the HRE flag before 1804. So we did the black and gold to set it apart because Russia uses a fully yellow flag. And so if the HRE, which I'm playing now, fully used a yellow flag, and Austria did, and Russia did, it'd be a little confusing. That's why we added a red stripe, which is kind of like, what is that called? Does anybody know the Reichsfahne or something like that? Is it the Reichsfahne or not the Reichsfahne? Maybe it's called the, let me see, Holy Roman Empire flags. It's got a German name. I just never remember the name of it. It is called Reichssturmfahne. Yeah, see how it has a red stripe on the top? That's why we've done that in order to set them apart. And then for Austria, I believe that black and gold pattern was in use at the time. But the thing is, countries at this time didn't have official flags. Like, flags weren't as ubiquitous as they are as we think of them today. There are some nations like Britain that did have a national flag. But other nations, especially Holy Roman states, didn't really have a national flag. That wasn't really a thing. You had merchant flags that you'd put on ships and like trading convoys, and you had certain ensigns, like civil ensigns, that you could put outside of palaces, things like that. But typically, the idea of a national flag was kind of a rare thing. But black and gold for Austria is a common enough pattern that it still maintains historical accuracy. I'm not a flag expert, so I can't tell you all of the sources for it. But if you look into it, I'm sure you're not going to find that it's a fabrication. We did the research. I just don't remember all the exact details of it to recite right now. All right, we've got the canister shot firing. It's doing okay damage, but we're firing a little bit far. And we're just going to fast forward through this. We're just letting these recruits grind a little veterancy. Break this unit. I'm going to follow him. Here we go. All right. And by the way, for anybody who's watching, there is a free demo, so you don't have to spend a single dollar. The demo has no play limitation. You can play it as many times as you want. There's no timer. So if you just want to try it out before Christmas, and if you get a little money for Christmas, the game will be on sale for the next, 2 weeks, I think. So if you like it and you do get money over Christmas, the game will be on sale for you, too. And there's a free DLC waiting for you if you do buy the game. We're going to let these guys grind that experience out on the left. And we are on the road, so we are going to be okay on stamina. They're half in a river a little bit so that you can see they're tired. And they should get to the red stamina faster than we do. Just because we do have men on the road here. I know the Potsdam Giants never saw action. But would it be possible to add them? I did add them, Austin. I did add them. They're just under a different name, a more historically appropriate name. They're called the Guard Grenadier, and they're a renowned unit. And the Guard Grenadier used to be the Potsdam Giants, but that was under Frederick the Soldier King in the 1740s, or maybe even a little earlier, but I think that's right. And then in the 7 Years' War, yeah, you can see that their stamina went down. In the 7 Years' War, they got renamed or reformed into the Guard Grenadiers. And I believe the Guard Grenadiers did see action, at least in the War of the Austrian Succession. But I'm going to let these guys charge in. Everyone's a little tired, but I have such high morale that I'm just going to finish them off. But yeah, you can use them. They're a renowned unit in the game. We're going to let these guys engage. Everyone's so tired that the melee is going to take a little longer. In the old build, the previous update, melee ends way too quick. It's like they tap each other and they're already running, which can be a little bit historically accurate, but it just wasn't fun for gameplay. So I think we are going to get the money we need to open a 4th Brigade. Oh, I'm excited for this. This debt maxing strategy is going to work. I'm telling you. Look, we only need 1,200 or 200 more. If we sell off, I want to keep that musket. Sell off everything. Look. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. Now we get 4 veterancy anytime we muster a unit. Plus we got a von Sachsen, got an upgrade. We can kind of take him any direction we want. Strict for veterancy. I like the veterancy. I'm just going to go for that. So anyone under his command. Look, 10% morale. Minus 5% morale. So it's still positive. And we just gain veterancy from it. So, yeah. Lemon, the thing is, melee does take longer, but I made shooting and reloading slower for everybody. So firing is less lethal, meaning you have more opportunities to charge. But melees take a little longer. So it's kind of a balance there. But look at this. We got some nice upgrades. Grab the field artillery upgrade there. Beautiful. Refill all of our ammo. Refill our manpower. Great veterancy on these guys. Imperial recruits. I want to get lots of infantry up quickly, and then we can worry about a cavalry brigade. Like, we can put a cav brigade there. This guy does not need the veterancy gain, so we're going to swap him out over to fire damage received. That's perfect. I'm going to have him and the cav have that. And then all these guys are going to gain the veterancy. Now we're going to gain 4 veterancy per muster, which is incredible. So we're going to sell that shitty musket. And then I want just a little more food. I'm going to get rid of the bayonet. 10, 20. I want a little bit more food. There we go. Because we're going to be doing some debt maxing. And I want to prioritize my Saxons. I don't really care as much about the Imperial units. I want to build a more themed army. Okay, here we go. Now, we defeated the patrol in this area. So that means there's going to be less patrols. And I think we have the luxury to actually sit around for a little bit. Look at that. Veterancy 4 recruit. I love it. So let's wait till day 40, and then we're going to mobilize again and move out. But we'll give it till day 40 in the meantime. Look, another Imperial recruit level 4. And we're getting tons of reservists. So we can buy another unit afterwards. Imperial Land... Oh, that's even luckier. Look, Land Milits... Yeah, the last, you're right about a Stalker army. We do have to be careful about that. Land Milits have already been upgraded. So look at that Veterancy 4. You can immediately take him to Christ level or Bavarian. Do you guys want... So we have a lot of these Imperial units, and we have some Saxon. We have 4 Imperial, 4 Saxon. For our Imperial Brigade, we can either disband them all, but I think that's a bad idea. I don't want to do that at all. Or we can theme them all around one particular type. We can go Bavarian, who's good at shooting. We could go Palatine, who's good at charging. Württemberg is like speed and agility. That's why they have some light infantry. Or Kreis, who have giant regiments, 1,800 in size. They're big regiments. Or we can turn it into a cavalry unit, or a brigade. But I kind of like the Saxons having the Saxon cuirassiers and Tatar cavalry and such. So, or we could go one of each. That's also an option. You could go one of each. What do you guys think? I think at the very least, let's get these guys upgraded into Land Milits. There we go. So we're all Land Milits. I could get another artillery or something, but I don't want that right now. There we go. 4 infantry. I think a lot of people want to see Bavarian, so at the very least, let's make this guy Bavarian. There we go. And then we're going to regenerate his flag. So check it out. If you use the regeneration button, now he's got the Bavarian flag. How cool is that? So the uniform is going to update. I kind of like a bright yellow or a pink on a Bavarian. I don't know why I always think of that. Or even a light blue, but I think a bright yellow looks nice on them. Maybe even a yellow trousers and waistcoat to match. I don't know. I always like it like that. And then the, yeah, that's fine. So these guys will be our Bavarian units. We can name them later. Let's not name them until they actually make a name for themselves, because they're just like trash recruits right now. They do lack morale, yeah. We want to keep debt maxing. I'm gonna start advancing forward a bit though. Just get, there we go. Let's get our let's get up to 8% and then we'll start moving. There we go. We have another supply cache, which would be a very easy battle for us. So, guess what we're gonna do? Free the prisoners. So we get even more reservists. And fight this little army. 4 units, easy. So we're ready to just keep it going. Hi, Kelly. What's up?
I finished the roll.
You finished another roll? Gotcha. Yeah, I am running out of paper. Uh-oh. Oh, well. We do have bags. We have those little bags, so, yeah. All right. So, who do we got? Where's our Bavarians? We've got the Prince Xaver, and they're pretty cool. Where's our Bavarians at? Oh, right there. There is our Bayerische infantry. And our cav. And look at the artillery. We upgraded it, so we have an extra 2 guns on the artillery. Even better. We can fall back to that hill, give it some extra accuracy, and kind of let them fight into this open field. So we'll pull them in, draw them in there. The reason the AI has been attacking us a lot is because they have no artillery, and if the AI brings artillery, sometimes they'll take a defensive stance. Blinn, we're fighting a combined Austro-Prussian force because I turned on all the enemies. And in terms of veterancy, we need our Saxon recruits to be prioritized. They're going to take the front line with the general nearby. And in fact, I'm going to open up a slot in case we want to do canister shot through there. And the general's going to be in range of hopefully both. Yep. And then I hope you'll sort things out just to get Armchair History TV back on track. Yeah, Armchair History TV. I did like Armchair History TV. It was pretty fun doing that, but I think without the YouTube channel, because I'm not doing the YouTube channel, it's not really going to work to be able to run it, unfortunately. So it was actually very successful. It was performing extremely well, but without the YouTube channel, which I don't want to do, then it's just harder to justify, unfortunately. And I'm going to fall these guys back so that they're less prioritized by the AI. And then bring our artillery up on the hill. And then kind of open up a bigger area for that artillery to fire. Let's hold this. Let's switch it up. I'll fire my first volley with solid shot. And then I'm going to switch over to canister. And let's fire... Let's fire about here. There we go. 16 kills. We're going to fire one more volley. And then switch to canister. Can you explain how to use canister and grape shot? So what you do is, if you have canister equipped, like we do, what you can do is, with solid shot, I can fire over my own men, but with canister, you use indirect, or direct fire, rather. So we switch, and it has shorter range, but higher damage and higher ammo consumption. So you're going to burn through ammo quickly, but you're going to get off a lot of damage. And you have to make sure you have a direct access. We want these guys to come up and to support. Look at that nice line that the AI formed. Isn't that nice? No shade on Empire Total War, but you don't get a clean line when you fight the AI. Yeah, canister was very helpful, but I want the recruits to shine here. So we're gonna let these guys charge in. And let these recruits rack up some kills. There we go, 100 kills, 100 kills, very good, guys. Get that veterancy. We're gonna let you pursue. And I don't want to end the battle just yet, but I'm gonna have them go in. I'm going to follow these guys down. Hunting down. Get them, boys. Uh-oh, we're going to get shot. Let's fall back. And fight. There we go. Bring in some reinforcements. Oh, they charged us. I didn't even know. Where's our cavalry? Let's bring our cab in. Switch over to solid shot. Yeah, you do have to switch back and forth between the two shots. And then have these guys charge in. I don't know if we'll win this charge. Because Hungarians are pretty good, but their morale is low. So see, yeah, we're taking more casualties, but the morale is lower on them because we had been engaging them. There we go. So I think we gave the experience to the right guys there. There we go. We got some cash from that too. And do we take the cash and ammo? Oh, sorry. I dropped something. Or do we take manpower, 1,000 manpower and 10% casualties? The money's kind of useless to us because we're going to be in debt anyways. Or we take the veterancy. I kind of like the veterancy option because we can get food and we get to level people up. So I'm going to do that. And look, promotions all around, baby. Get those promotions. Very nice. And look, we've got a level 5, meaning he can go Chevalier or Musketeer, but I want to get these Musketeers up. There we go. So we have 2 good Musketeers now. Right there and right there. And then this guy's very close. But I want to get a nice brigade of Musketeers going. And I got plenty of ammo to go around. And plenty of manpower for that matter. These guys are all fine. I think I'm happy with everything. I can start transitioning toward using my items. But I wouldn't mind selling some of these to get out of debt. Let's go back to mustering. We've used half our time up. That's the only thing. And we have not raided any settlements, which we need to. I would raid this, honestly. Let's muster backward. Wow, instantly. Beautiful. I love the mustering. Let's muster back and raid. So we're going to say, join our ranks now or die. Thank you. And you will die anyways. I'm a great ruler. Thank you for your cooperation. And so we need to raid 5 settlements here. Go back to mustering on the way. And then we're going to raid Lobozitz. Nice. Another Imperial recruit. What are we at? Need 4 more. The food consumption is going to start getting crazy. That's the thing. I'm going to burn that down. And we need 2 more convoys. Only 2 more. So just 2 more up top. Let's go for them. There we go. And a field army is going to come in pretty soon, guys. And field armies are tough. So I'm going to enter force march, I think. Let's go mustering. But let's be real careful. If we see a field army. Beautiful. If we see a field army, we stop. And we run. We may not have to run, but we'll see. Retired veteran. I have no money. Sorry, buddy. I'm in debt. Please join us. No, he did not like the debt that we have accumulated. There's the field army. It's running from us. The field army's running from us. Oh, that's beautiful. Look, it spawned in. These field armies come in around day 70 to hunt you down, but we're bigger than them, so they ran from us. So we can continue our mission. I would normally fight that army. I mean, I kind of want to, but I want to get this up and I want to get this machine up and running, you know. But let's take a look at what we got over here. Did we change drilling? Stephen, we did not change drilling. It's just that the Holy Roman Empire replaces drilling. It's a unique faction trait with a new stance called mustering. And it's a little overpowered, but here's the thing. Recruits are terrible. These guys are terrible. So the moment the enemy's going to get their grenadiers and their high-level units, these guys suck. So we got to get... It's a high-risk strategy because they're very weak early game. But you basically dive in and try to create the widest army possible, and then we have to work on reforming the army. But we're just trying to muster up and recruit. It's kind of like a medieval levy that we're doing at the moment. I don't really want these non-Saxon recruits, though. I really want a good, strong Saxon army. That being said, I don't have too many of these Kreis Imperial units. I wouldn't mind grabbing another cav for that brigade I'm kind of building over here. And then these dudes, I'm probably just going to give them... Should I get them up to infantry, I guess? And then this will be my artillery force. How big is Imperial Field Artillery? It comes with 175 men versus Veteran, 150. So you have an extra gun, but I don't know. If I'm min-maxing it, I want my Saxons to be the artillery. But I'd have to get lucky to do that. So I could do half and half. Because they're cheap to upgrade. Look, 3 and 3 versus what? Let's see. 3, 4, 5. So I could get these guys up into artillery and just get a whole artillery brigade kitted out and start moving these guys toward cavalry. Let's just do it. Let's build a nice combined arms force. Let's kit them out. Is there any Kreis unit? Imperial Cuirassiers have 800 men in them. So there could be justification in moving him there. And the cavalry here has 600. So if I'm going to go Cuirassiers, I kind of want the Imperial Cuirassiers because they're gigantic. So you know what? Let's have our first Imperial Cuirassier unit. We could make them like a Bavarian one or something, just for a little variety. And then we've just got our 2 artillery. Now they have a horrible worn gun, so we do have to fix that. But again, our guys here are going to suck a little bit. This guy will be in charge of this brigade. He's giving veterancy, right? So we don't need that right now. So let's move him out. And anyone we need to grind veterancy with, we need to move them in. So get these guys in and give them all of these guys the veterancy. In fact, these are musketeers. They don't need the veterancy either. They're musketeers too. So watch. There we go. So all of our recruits are stacked on a 15% veterancy gain. Do we have any items that can increase veterancy? We don't. And we're in tons of debt. 16,000 reservists. That's unbelievable. That's crazy. That is crazy. Was the game a success? The game was very successful, yeah. Did it do well enough to expect a sequel? I'm in talks with publishers who want to do a sequel, and I think I will do one as well. And the game did maybe 10 times better. It did 10 to 20 times better than I thought it would. So it did perform very well. It performed very, very well. I have these lamellets here. Lamellets are good. 4 veterancy lamellets. That's great. We can turn them into anything we want. We have 2 convoys left and 2 settlements to burn. We're consuming a ton of food though. So we may want to just raid this area, but look at that food they have. Can we get out of debt? Maybe what we would do is, gosh, I don't know. What do we do to fix the food situation? Because I want to buy it from here, but I have no money. I'm in debt. So we have a little bit of a pickle here. All right. 16. Is this worth 500 though? Can this get me out of debt? It might be able to, but not by much. We'd still be at negative 149. But that food is so cheap here. And we need the food, so I don't want to burn this place down. That's my issue. We need a battle to fight. We need to take on probably that field army and get some food out of them. Now look how much reservists we have. We can buy basically anything. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. I probably want to wait for a better unit because these ones aren't amazing. Just recruits here. But we can get whatever we want. But our resources are way out of whack. We're like super heavy on reservists and no dollars right now. I'm going to force march and see if I can go find. There it is. We found him. Get your ass back here. We need to go consume this army and turn it into cash or food. We need the food. Look, we got 10 food left. This army's hungry. Please give us food. The horde needs provisions. And we've got so many items, we might as well just use them. I don't even need to like min-max them here. We'll just give them to random troops and just kind of bulk them out. There we go. We have a bunch of crappy bayonets and really bad weapons. So this army is going to just be like death by 1,000 knives. Charge and move speed. Sure, I'll give it to you. This debt maxing strategy works. You guys like the debt maxing? It's pretty good. I mean, there's still a little, work to get this to be. We got to pull ourselves out of debt, and we really got to get these recruits taken care of, because I've got the worst weapons in the game, no items, and all recruits. So it's powerful, but we got to get this. It's a good long-term investment. Once we get these guys up and running, like, you're set for Act 2 and Act 3. You didn't realize you can go into debt? I think the only way you can go into debt is with this mechanic. And MH, debt maxing is just the funny name I'm giving to a strategy with Saxony. Look at these Imperial cavalry. That's why I wanted to have at least one Imperial cav. 1,000 men. Beautiful. So we have a huge cavalry force now. We'll name our units. I'm just in the middle of doing my... I'm constructing the army, and then I'll name it and personalize it. Gosh, how do I want to do this? Maybe we draw a line along the road to get the stamina buff and form kind of like a V shape. Could be kind of cool. And then form another contingent up here. Have half the cavalry on the right. I move the other half on the left. Where's our artillery? Artillery's kind of spilling off the hill right now, but good enough. God, the range on this Warren gun is horrendous. And then am I missing anybody? Probably just my general, right? Let's move him up. And let's go forward. They're infantry with less men in them. Yeah, I think there's an infantry that's pretty small. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's the Bavarian one that's small right now. 1,200. No, he's fine. I thought I saw one with like 900, but... Okay, we got German Freikorps recruits. Lots of Freikorps there, Cantonists, Crownlanders, so half Austrian, half Prussian. They're splitting their army up. 4 veterancy Imperial Lamolets. Yeah, we want to get the veterancy up on these guys. Damn, they outrange us. See, this is where our recruits kind of suck, because we've got to leave our cover because our weapons are just horrendous and advance on them. We do have some great cavalry, though. Is the Warren gun doing it? 20 kills. All right. Fair enough. We've got this nice, like, road line formed up. Prince Albrecht, I think, is getting targeted by artillery, so we'll spread him out. Yeah, we do need to get that artillery upgraded with proper guns soon. We're going to advance our lines. Oh, did not mean to do that. All right, lads, fire. Bavarians are formed up on the right. Here we go. Get to position, get to position. Good shots. Enemy line is engaging us on the left. And then they've got a little battle on the right. We got our cavalry over here. It'd be a fun challenge to try to play the whole game with the UI turned off. It'd be kind of interesting. There we go. We routed the Germans. Let's see if I can win the rest of the battle with no UI. They are bailing on that. Are we running? Let's run. There we go. Good job, guys. Get in there. Ouch. See if we can break him. Wrapping around the sides. Oh, one of our guys broke. Let's see what we're actually doing here. Oh, they're hussars. Uh-oh. Yeah, I should have had the UI on. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, no. Yeah, get out of there. Okay, I'm going to hold fire, and hopefully the Bavarians will save them. They want to chase them down. Hold fire. Rally them with Friedrich. All right, fire when ready. Yeah, fire when ready. I'll hold this. Even the artillery, a few artillery rounds came in to help me out. Hey, Kelly, what's up? Did you wrap something? Oh, that's kind of cool. Is that on purpose, or did you run out of wrapping paper? What? That was on purpose? How'd you do that? Did you use 2 wrapping papers on it, and you caught a shape out?
I used a wrapping paper on one of those, like, tissue.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm excited to check that one out.
That's really good.
Nice.
That's the best recommended.
Good. Did you do lasagna, or are you preheating the oven?
It's nearly done.
Oh, awesome. Perfect.
I've been crushing it down.
Good job. Thank you, Kelly. All right, let's see what we got here. I really want to get to the boss battle of this region and see how our armies fared. I think that'll be a cool test to see if this debt maxing worked out or not. All right, let's get in there. All right, cut him down, cut him down. There we go, beautiful. We just have a very conventional line battle. Oh, they charge me. Oh, get in there, guys. It's because they're Hungarians. The Hungarians are a little feisty. They like to charge. Proper Hungarian Fusiliers, too. They're pretty good. But this is our Prince Albrecht Chevalier, so... Prince Albrecht isn't doing so good. He's got good melee. I think I'll win this. Will he win it? I don't know. I'll let him keep fighting. I'll let him grind it out. And I bring in over another regiment to help out. Damn, they pushed that flank hard there. Lazy, you're playing as the Russians? I completely overhauled the Russians, so tell me how you like them. Oh, I do not want to charge. Look, those hussars are back. You don't want to get cocky. I do want to take out the artillery, though. They're moving up with canister. Oh, jeez. Let's see how bad the canister shot is. They're loading. Loading. 119 kills, 130, 141, 153. Oh, jeez. Keep going. All right, we routed those Hungarian Fusiliers at the cost of losing our left almost. I think we made it. Good job, guys. There you go. Will they win it, though? I think they will. Yeah, there we go. Cut them down. I'm gonna hold here on the hill. I gotta fall back because that left flank is stacked. And I gotta swing the right over. But look, we got hussars on the way again. I'm gonna kind of form a dense block and try to brace it. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Guys, form up, form up. What did you mean by rework the Russians? I redid all their unit trees. So they have 10 more units added to the game, and I redid how their unit trees worked. So they're a lot more interesting, I think. All right, luckily the general's nearby, so we should be able to beat the hussars. There we go. And I think I'll fast forward, I think, but that left is still dangerous. Let's try to reform the left, then I can kind of fast forward through. Is there a new feature regarding unit generation? I just seen 2 towns with full British roster. Ink, check the top right. Look at the town's condition. There are new auxiliary barracks that let you recruit locals if the locals like you, which is just, it's just a random condition you can find. Gosh, get rid of these Hungarian Fusiliers. Get out of here. But it's kind of cool because you could form, if you like campaign in Britain, you could like recruit Highlanders. Gosh, gotta get rid of those. Pull these guys back. All right, we are overwhelming them. We should get a lot of experience from this battle, I imagine. We're encircling this last force. That was a fun battle. That was pretty dynamic. They actually put up a fairly decent fight. I like the charges they did. They were actually smart charges on the left and even on the right. Meanwhile, me is not not the smartest charge. I'll get out of there. Chevalier, just for reference, is kind of like a light cav that's good at shooting. So when you just do frontal charges, it's not great. It's good with carbines, like shooting. But I have not bought any carbines because I'm in debt. So that's kind of our issue, is our guys are fighting like wet noodles over here. All right, there we go. Yeah, they're kind of like light dragoons, Blinn. That's right. All right, we are dealing with these guys now. They have a commander, this officer attached. Inspiring. Command radius and morale damage received. So they've got this inspiring officer who will not let them retreat. Nicholas Peroni, yeah. Well, now they're gone. Hello, Galen. How are you? Or Galen. Do Chevalier count as light cav? They do. They do. Alright, we are out of debt officially, which is great. We don't need any more ammo. I don't even really need any more reservists. Food and veterancy sounds great to me. Let's professionalize the army and get fed. And then we have enough to sell off to now go back to the town and take advantage of that cheap food. Let's force march. They're going to run from us. That's funny. Let's grab all that cheap food. Thank you. Sell off anything we don't need. Now I want to start professionalizing. So we're going to start keeping items that we want. And then just get rid of stuff we don't want. Let's get down to like... Yeah, that's 600 food's awesome. Pronounced gallon. Gotcha. Like gallon of water. Okay. Look, there's new items too, like lances, which can be quite powerful if you're building charge cavalry with no carbines. Or you get pistols, and that can give you better shooting. So pistols for the Chevalier is actually a pretty good option. In fact, we might even pick some up. It's only 100. Or probably the smarter, more responsible option is to get an officer, because we're way over expanding. Especially because our guys are retreating, so it'd probably be wise. That looks like a good officer. Veterancy gain, morale again. That's a great officer. This guy is cavalry charge. I like that. But he will die, and I can't afford him. The only one I can afford is a guy who reloads a little quicker. So, let's grab him. For intel, he reloads a little quick. We'll get into the infantry. Saxony's whipping into shape our recruits. Notice this is fire damage received. He's becoming my cavalry officer, so hopefully... Morale and less officer death chance. Combat elevation I don't need. Combat effectiveness is good. Or morale with less officer death chance. Gosh, I'm not sure. I think religious would probably be nice because combat effectiveness is great, but it's only good if you're going to be doing a little bit of everything. Like, it's basically combat effectiveness is 5% charge, 5% melee, 5% accuracy, 5% reload. So you can see it's actually pretty decent. Yeah, I'm going that. When you put it like that, you know, I'm taking that. I'm going to replenish everything because I've got plenty of resources. I love the amount of manpower I have. It's crazy. I'll assign this later. I don't know, guys, if I'm going to get... I would love to continue streaming, but I think I have to eat with my wife. And look at the army we'd have to face. 20,000 elite Prussians. So we only have 15k and we're all recruits. So I will keep playing for now because the food's not ready yet. But I think I will hang out with her, and I can always continue my stream another time. And I think continuing it would be fun. I could continue it this weekend. Probably on the same channel. By the way, I do more frequent streams if you check out Armchair History Interactive over here. This is where I do a lot of frequent streams. You can check out this. I'm live streaming like multiple times a week there. But yeah, why don't I do another stream this weekend and I'll continue my save. And let's keep playing for now though. So let's take care of this convoy. I'm going to muster over to it because I want to replenish quickly. Rotten Discipline. An officer for a light cav. But I need the money. I have no money. Yeah, no, I can't do it. Let's get over there quickly. Traveling merchants. I have plenty of reservists. You can take my reservists. It returns and brings money, more reservists, and civilians. Or civilian items. Good. Got some riding boots for the cav. And I got one more convoy, and I get a dragoon. Yeah, CC, the only reason I'm going into debt, or the only way I'm going into debt is with the new mechanic, which is... I don't want to raid this because I might need to come back to it for food. It is a new mustering mechanic, which lets you go into debt. So normally it is not an option. Gambler's Den. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Speaking of debt, since the theme of this faction is gambling and debt, you have a special option if you're the HRE that you can instantly rig the gambling den and just win the money, and I'm magically out of debt. That's very thematic, isn't it? I think that's quite nice. And we could probably raid this village down. Because we need to raid a few more villages. And we're going to get the cavalry bonus, the light cav. So that's what we're building into, is light cavalry. We'll destroy this. Beautiful. And we'll knock out our last convoy, which gets us a heavy cavalry, which is fine. Kind of wish it was a light cav. Purchase beer. Oh, we're way out of debt. Beer, wine. Titus, thank you for the $2. Any chance of cav, unit, musicians, or a standard bearer? Those are on my list. Specifically the cav musician, like a bugler. But yeah, I'm adding items every update. We're adding a couple items here and there, so maybe. Spirit rations are great for charging, but you lose accuracy. Beer gives you melee and morale. I think spirit for cav. I completely agree, Watcher. That's the way to go. Spend $60 and get a dragoon with 10 charge. That would have cost us 160. So then we take our new dragoon, who is here, and we give him that alcohol, and check out the charge damage at 30, now 40. Beautiful. Higher than any of my other cav. It looks like we're kind of going for a build that has 2 infantry brigades, 2 cavalry brigades, and 1 artillery. Which is kind of neat. I think that's what we're going for. We'll probably do 6 light cav to make use of that new doctrine we're going to get, and 2 heavy cav. Because I already have 1 heavy here, and I want to make him cuirassier. So I think that's a great idea. By the way, I would love to slow down and customize regiments and name them, but I have to go soon, so that's why I'm kind of playing a little quickly. But it is quite fun. Saxon recruits, look at this. We're ready to go straight to Musketeer. Beautiful. Imperial Land Milits. Who did we want to go with? I think people were saying they wanted 1 of each. And we don't need Christ units, right? Lots of Land Milits here. I feel like I don't have enough Saxon infantry. I would love to have more Saxon. I have 1, 2, 3. So I might want to disband, which is kind of a shame, but I might want to disband a Land Milits. Who's the least leveled up? Lucky, I have not centralized the Saxons because I'm focusing on min-maxing the veterancy gain here. So these guys I just promoted, so I can swap that out. And look, all of these guys are all Land Milits. You know what could be kind of funny is we could convert our Bavarians to Saxons by just recoloring them. And they could be our honorary Saxons. And then we can make a new Bavarian in this brigade. I could do that. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that because it's easier that way. In a future update, it'd be nice if there was a bias if you're playing as the Saxons that you have bias towards Saxon troops. This guy's level 4. We want to wait to upgrade him. We already have a Bavarian, so we already have one. We probably don't want to go Christ. We want a Württemberg, Palatine. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 of each, right? So we'll do a Christ Musketeer. Yeah. And these guys are all my Saxons. And I think we can keep moving. Raid 2 more settlements. And watch this. I'm going to run up. I'll force march it to get there quickly, because we don't have much time left, unfortunately. Run up. Grab all the food they have in stock. Thank you. And then I will burn this place down. And I want to raid 1 more village. Villages are faster to burn down than cities. So we want to knock out 1 more village to get that Polish doctrine. But you can see we're really running out of time now. Got lots of items there. Let's knock out the outpost quickly. Oh, we can't do this one, I forgot. Well, we could. Drill master or an officer. I could give them an officer. Who do I not care about? I don't really care about this guy. He cost me like 100 something. And I could get a light cav. Yeah. So you're going to go back. And I got a new Chevalier. There we go. I mean, that's perfect. Because we wanted this last brigade's going to be all light cav. So that is exactly what we wanted. We're out of ammo. Our resources are a mess right now. We need to raid one more settlement, and we're going to get the doctrine. I have so much reservists I could buy. You know what I'd say is, this last brigade, I should spend on the highest top tier units of the game with these reservists, because I can buy units with reservists, and I haven't done that at all yet. So I should buy them. Why can't I do this? I need ammo. I have no ammo left. You know what, though? I have barely any officers. Why don't we strip the ammo off of the cav who has no guns? Like so. And send our regiments in for training. There we go. Lots of promotions. We really need to... we still have militia, and we're going to be fighting grenadiers. So we really got to be careful. It looks powerful. This looks powerful, but we need to scale a little bit better. We're going to go 1 Bavarian. This guy's our honorary Saxon, right? Unless... yeah, no, I think he is. Because we wanted this all Saxon. And you can just recolor the uniform once I promote him. So we will do a Bavarian here. And then we'll do a Württemberg and a Palatine when they're ready. Can anyone else get an upgrade? Aha! Chevalier can. We're going to do Saxon Veteran Chevalier. Can you combine units? You can technically combine them, yes. Because what you can do is you can just delete a regiment like this, and you get all the manpower and reservist, the ammo back. So you could use that, and then if a guy was half strength, you could delete one and then put the strength into the other. But there's not like a formal merge button for that. That place has cheap officers, and we need new officers, right? Let's let this guy get out of here. I'll spare you. Okay. Artillery officer, that's good. Put the artillery officer with the artillery. We could do a shooting officer for the light cav. This guy's combat effectiveness and fire damage, so I can move him over here. And then grab the light cav. Oh, this is perfect, though. Look at this. Artillery range and timely. That would have been a good combo. I should have picked that up. Instead, I've got reload speed 15%. I could have gone 10% with range. You know what, guys? I know this is dumb, but whatever. I'm going to grab that. Cavalry charge. Accuracy. I'm grabbing this, too. I'll keep him in reserve, and if someone dies, I can just move him in. Then we'll take the artillery commander, move him there. So we have Rheindorf with hot, fast-firing, good range. Then we have Lecoq. All right, Gunther Lecoq. Can I give him a better name? Can we take the name of Rambaldi? How about we do that instead? How about you become Rambaldi instead of Lecoq? That'd be nice. And then we've got Mr. Vikida in reserve there. Is there anyone who's good to recruit? Look at how cheap. I've become quite overpowered, I think. I might need to do a little rebalancing for Saxony. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a little patch. I think it's just that I'm gaining too many reservists. And the units are too cheap. It's only 3,000. If this was 6,000, this would be scaled better. So I'll actually include a screenshot of this. Because these units are just way too cheap. I'm not that powerful yet, because again, I've got all Lamoliths. I've got shitty units. So it looks powerful, but when I fight that army, I'm not that strong. Yeah. And I have to get to another village and burn it down. What do I want to do? I could just raid this, but I'm going to run out of time on day 140. They're going to come after me. What else do I need to accomplish? What I need to accomplish is I need to go to a good town and to buy items for my guys and get them trained up and better. Because they just have crap. I've got crap muskets, crap everything. I think I have to raid where I'm at ASAP to get that doctrine done. This thing's going to come after me by the time I'm done. Then I need to blitz over to Alsich and buy items. There we go. Light combat effectiveness and tons of saddles. I mean, that's perfect. This guy I don't care about. Get out of my way. Jankow is not going to have anything for me. Normally, by the way, if you're watching this, if I wasn't streaming, you should take every battle you can. Because if this is an easy battle and you're not going to take many losses, you're just going to get free resources. I mean, this is worth like $600 if I beat this battle. And if it's 600, like you're already on the way to get the 5th Brigade. So you always want to be fighting battles. If you're watching and you want advice, fight as many as you're comfortable with taking. I should have been fighting more. I've just spent a lot of time mustering in Act 1. Act 2 and 3, I'm set up to fight lots of battles. There's the HQ. Okay, impoverished locals. Sure, I'll take... You know what? This isn't useful right now, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is that HQ's coming after me now, right? We're going to run over. Artillery discount. Is that useful for me? It probably is. It probably is. Can we get up to 2,400? Let's sell stuff we probably don't need. Gosh, I want to keep a lot of this, but... I'm just trying to... We're up to 1,200 now. We're not going to be able to open up that brigade. What I could do is take some low-level cav that we're not really using. In fact, crap. Bring him back. Kel, did you want to take a bath? Okay. Or did you want to eat together?
I can do both.
Because I'm wondering if I should... If you wanted to do your bath, I would continue streaming. But if you want to eat together, then I could stop here. But what would you... Thank you for bringing me the food. Is this half and then you've got half?
There's a third left.
There's some more left? Okay. What are you thinking?
Well, because your DLC came out today, I feel like you have a good reason for streaming.
Will you want to hang out after your bath if you do a bath? Or would you not
Yes.
do one?
Yeah, it's already running. It's already finished.
Oh,
It's
then
ready.
perfect. Then perfect.
Yeah, I already started it.
Then you're good. Okay, awesome.
Does that change anything?
No, you're good then.
Okay.
Cool. Alright, I've got a little frozen lasagna. A little cheat meal that we have. The demo is free, that's right, so you can play the demo. We will be able to fight the boss battle because we've got more time. And let's see what we wanted to do. I wanted to get a good artillery unit, right? Field artillery, battalion artillery. Look at this. Proper field artillery. Already upgraded. That's what I want. I want him. Do they have... There's no gun... Oh, there is a foundry, and I'll buy a new cannon. 2 new cannons. 2 bronze 6-pounders. Let's do it. I'm gonna grab that. Let's look. We're gonna outfit our new guns. All gold cannons now. Didn't we buy a second one? Where'd it go? Or is that a bug? It's here. I think it's a bug. There we go. I already have that reported for tomorrow. Sometimes your inventory doesn't look like it carries over at first. Will I be able to run the game without a dedicated graphics card? Yeah, we've tested it on integrated graphics cards. Thank you, by the way, Gallon. I appreciate it. We've tested the game on integrated graphics cards, and it does work. You just have to really adjust your graphics. Like your settings, I mean. But it can run. And what's it called? There's a demo, so you can play the demo for free and test it first. So go try the demo out, and then there's no risk. Sorry if I'm being noisy. I'm just gonna eat a little bit so it doesn't get cold. Sorry about that. I'm eating quick. So let's clean this up. We got our 3 gold guns. That's great. I want to get better canister shot if it's possible. We've got good canister rounds. Let's grab the good canister rounds. I want those. And I want to give that to the Saxon Field Artillery, and then take the old canister rounds and give that to my Battalion Artillery, because Battalion Artillery kind of sucks. Because there's fewer guns, so the best we can do is just have them firing canister shot most of the game. I don't really care for Grape Shot, Blinn. It's not as powerful as it used to be. I mean, I could pick it up, but I want to save the rest of my money. Prince Zaber is fine. They've got a Potsdam. These guys are going to get the John Coping for charging. So I will put a note about that because they're 3145 now, which is pretty high. If they're going to charge, we'll give them something else too, like a good bayonet. Let's grab one of those, 110. I'll buy it. Let's go and swap that out. We're up to 2741. We've got a crappy gun still. Is that true? Oh, I gave it to the wrong guy. There we go. 3145. 3751 melee. 51 is the best infantry melee we have. So yeah, this guy's good at charging at the moment. Technically, our Christ Musketeers should be better at melee, but I think they got to go Grenadiers first. And then I think Spontoons give experience, so giving that under the experience leader to our Lamolets. Look at that. Give them a little leadership bonus. It's good. We got the cavalry here. And who's got a carbine? We got 2 carbines there. So these are my main carbine cav. I probably want to give the alcohol to someone else, but let's give riding boots out to the cav. 50 for the slot. Let's buy it. I'm going to give a 25% damage reduction onto the Dragoons. And I'm going to give riding boots for 4 speed on the Prince Albrecht. We've got some water buckets to make the artillery fire faster, which you want on the Saxon Field Artillery because it has a Geschwindstück, and the Geschwindstück fires really quickly. So you want to give the water bucket over to them. We're now firing at 32 seconds a shot compared to 39 and 43, so you can see how fast that thing fires. We have lots of cavalry saddles. Saddles can be 6 and 4 move speed, better than a boot. So we want good saddles on these guys first, and then boots come later. Boots are going to get handed down to the dudes without good saddles. In fact, this is provincial cavalry. Do we have better than that? Yeah, we have better than provincial. We're going to stick the provincials in reserve. Bring these good chevaliers up front. Give them a saddle too. There we go. We have got a large limber chest. You definitely want a large limber chest on the fast firing artillery because it's going to burn through ammo quick. So you really want that. We don't need the worn bayonet. We're going to sell that off. We don't want the worn guns either. We want to sell those off. And now we want to buy anything that's not a worn gun, basically. Carbines are good. Looks like there's a little localization error there. Not error, but a typo I have to fix later. Charlevilles are nice, but we can get something already upgraded, like a Tula. That's good at melee, but I'm not really running melee. Probably grab a Charleville. And then grab something cheap. That's got 19 accuracy, 13. Wow, the Tula's got horrendous accuracy. We do not want the Tula. John Coping is what we want there. We're down to 70. We're going to get more weapons replaced. This 3rd Brigade is my favorite one, so we're going to make sure they have all the best weapons, so he needs a replacement. Let's get a good Charleville on him. In fact, I want to give this guy the Charleville, the Prince Zaber. Let's compare Prince Zaber with the Charleville there. So the Charleville is 19 accuracy, no change there. The Soule has 125 compared to the Charleville, so I'd be losing. I've got worse range, but better melee. I don't really... This guy's not going to get in the melee, so let's give him that for shooting. And let's give that away. And then we've got a John Coping that's left. Let's give that to our brigade we care about the most, or probably our musketeers here. There, so we're getting rid of all this crappy equipment. Equip a ramrod, canteen. For the Bavarians, give them some beer for the melee that we're stacking. Plus stamina to charge in. Probably don't need a ramrod, because they're not going to be firing too often if they're charging. And then, who would need the ramrod? Probably another Saxon. All of our Saxons have got ramrods, so they're more decked out. So 3rd Brigade is more kitted out, I would say. And this is kind of our militia brigade at the moment. This is a cavalry brigade. And our cavalry spilling into the artillery brigade until we can open up that 4th and final brigade, which is going to be another cav brigade. So we've leaned heavily into cav. He doesn't need the ammo. Does he? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. That guy already drained his ammo. I need to drain some ammo. There we go. In order to refill ammo of others. So let's also drain some of the cav by like half each. There. So I've made up some more ammo. Put that in. In fact, I might buy just a little bit of ammo there, just so I'm not hurting my guys too much with this. There we go. Now I'm all kitted out. I have no money left. I don't really have anything to sell off. I'd only have 43. Let's see if there's any crappy item I can grab for 40. I can grab a horseshoe. These are nice. 4 morale, 2 charge. I kind of like the little charms. Let's do that. Does the Bavarian have any room? He does. Look, perfect slot. Exactly what we needed. Because look, morale melee, morale charge. There you go, buddy. And I think we're pretty decked out now. And ready to fight. So while we wait to fight, do we raid? We probably raid and then we muster. That's what I would say. Raid, and then once it's burnt down, we muster until they get here. Elevation screws. Let's give that to this artillery because it's going to use canister. So we want it to fire further. Elevation screws will give you a 5% range. We got lots of ramrods. Let's give that to all the cav if we can. We don't have room. That's all right. Let's give it to this crappy brigade. Especially because they have decent reload stats as a base value. Then we have a pipe. We give the peace pipe to this guy. Or accuracy. Give it to the artillery, and that 58 accuracy goes up, 64. But then again, this is the guy that's going to be firing with the big solid shot. Let's give him a higher chance to hit. This guy doesn't need a high chance to hit because he's going to be packing canister. In fact, I'd give him the good canister. Because that canister damage is 8. Canister damage is 8. Yeah. This guy's going to get the good canister because he's not good for anything else. That guy gets basic canister. Then we muster. Hey, Kelly. Oh, did you bring me a soda? Thanks. That's nice of you. And we are ready to fight this guy. We're outnumbered. Believe it or not, we're outnumbered. So here we go. They have got the Itzenplitz Musketeers, veteran Musketeers, 2 Prussian Musketeers, and another Prussian, Austrian Fusiliers, Hungarian, and some recruits. That's nice. Not too bad. They've got a Dragoon, double Hussar, another Hussar, and Provincial, so a good arm of cavalry there. A horse artillery, field artillery. Now what's cool is they only have 3 cannons, and our cannon quality is higher, and a musketeer. So we're very evenly matched here. But we're set up super well to, like I said, kind of slingshot ourselves into the next act, because we have so much reservists. that once we get the money from this battle, you can open up that brigade immediately, fill it out with these 2 units, and buy another 2. How does the Act 1 HQ get so large? The reason is I'm playing with difficulty modifiers, so check this out. Inaccurate reports, 1 regiment in each enemy brigade is doubled. So they get the double musketeer, the double recruit, the double hussar, and I think it duplicated the field artillery, because look, there's 2 howitzers right there. Yeah. So we have to fight an extra howitzer, an extra hussar, an extra recruit, and an extra musketeer, which the size of that is, let me do the math for you. 1,400 plus 1,400 plus 800 plus 150. So 3,750 are because of the modifier. So they would normally only have 15,950, which is right about our size. Furthermore, we have another modifier on, I think, that makes them all the enemies faster and reduces the time you have to prepare by 14 days. So it got here 2 weeks quicker, and it has 3,700 extra guys. We also are consuming our ammo and our provisions a little faster, and our replenishment rate is a little slow. So that's pretty much what our modifiers are doing. Let's go in. Do you guys think we'll win? What do you think? What's your best tip for beginners? I would say first, play with the easiest modifier on. Don't be sad that you're playing with the easy modifier. That's okay. So play on the lowest difficulty first, just to get a good feel for the game. And then take on as many battles as you can. Don't be afraid, just get into battles. Obviously, if you think you're going to lose, if you're heavily outnumbered or something, you don't want to take that. But anytime you find a battle that you think you can win, just go for it. Because you're going to get... A battle is basically like getting resources with extra steps. And you always want more resources, so... Okay. This is what we've got to deal with. We're on the historical Battle of Zor map. We've got a rainbow cavalry going on here. With Chevalier there, pink, blue, red, green, and light blue. Palatine Kurfürsten Dragoons. They're pretty cool. We've got Prince Zaber, who's sort of our guard unit of our army. I'm not really trying to min-max any experience necessarily. We're just going to try to win the battle. And then we've got our Geschwindstock. We're going to set this up immediately. I think we've got the extra range, 15% extra range, which is great. This battalion artillery is going to go... you know what? We'll put them on the hill with them. We're going to form kind of a grand battery on this hill. And he'll switch to canister when he's ready, meaning we want to leave a gap around there. In fact, I'd rather leave a gap here because it's a field. So why don't we move them, swap them over. And now look, they'll be able to fire through this field. We'll advance. The charging Bavarians are going to be an assault column in the rear. Let's grab some Imperial units and kind of shore up this flank with the Saxons there. There we go. We're going to split up the cav. I don't really care what the quality is. I'm just going to split them up. I would say the smaller one should be higher quality, though. So Prince Albrecht should be with Kurfürsten there. There we are. Put these guys together. On the left, we got the Christ Musketeers. They're pretty big. 1,800 men. Very nice. What's our unit scale? We should be on Ultra, not large. So next time we'll be on Ultra. We've got true Bavarian Musketeers there. And Prince Zaber is going to be holding the front with the Saxons. So I think my idea here is that these guys are going to be up front, like this. Friedrich will be in the middle. We're going to have kind of a left wing oriented that way. Maybe I'll go for the hill, like that. The Bavarians will be in column in the rear, with cavalry in support. We'll go like that and like this. All the artillery is deployed and ready. And then on our left wing, I probably want to consolidate this a little bit. I think I spread out a bit too much. We'll form up along the road and make sure we get the stamina buff from it. And then move the cavalry back into the camp. And then we've got kind of like a slanted formation. And we're going to play defensively because we have so much artillery, and artillery is better. So even if they play defensively, we should be able to outgun them. The AI has been updated, by the way. So they will try to do counter battery fire if you do counter battery fire. So if I fire at their artillery, they're going to shoot back. They've kind of slanted their line to fit with my slant, which is kind of funny. Which gives me a little bit of time to kind of assume this hill and fight on it. And then I can fall back if I need to. I do typically find in this game that keeping your army together is better than splitting apart. But it's kind of fun to imagine like a little holdout force on the hill, and then we can fall back, and it's just more fun that way, I think, even if it's less effective. I have this nice cone of artillery. I do like that. I think I will space these guys out just a little bit more because the Kreis Musketeers have 1800. I think we can even close in like that because they're formed up on that oblique. Oh, we're not formed up. Whoopsie. Okay, we're firing. Let's slow things down, and I want to fire. I want to focus fire down that unit there. He's going to fire there. I kind of want to bring this artillery up a bit because it's going to use canister soon. Who are we fighting? We got Prussian Musketeers, pretty good ones. Coming in with Neustadt, good range. We have not good range, so we're going to have to go meet them. But hopefully I could like hit them with 2 units. They do have some cav, so let's protect ourselves. And then we're on this hill. Okay, we got some enemy fire coming in. That artillery is hitting us. Look at how good our artillery is doing. We've got like their morale to half, and they haven't even engaged us yet. That's great. Let's run up and take that hedge. I'm going to sprint everybody forward. And yeah, I have to advance because they outrange us with the Neustadt. Let's move the cav on the left. Let's check the right. Our little hill is, our hornet's nest, if you will, is being engaged at the moment. What are these guys? Itzenplitz. Oh, jeez. The Itzenplitz Musketeers. They're a little dangerous. They've even got trained marksmen. That's very dangerous with a commander. Oh, man. With less morale damage received. Yeah, these guys are going to be, like, fighting to the death. I don't know if this hill is going to hold too long, but we'll see. Oh, there we go. We shattered these fucking guys. And then let's deal with this cavalry. Lots of hussars. Hopefully I can shoot them enough to kind of break them up a little bit. There we go, get some shots off. Okay, there we go. Good job, guys. Alright, good shots. There you go. Got the cavalry battle on the left. These guys are moving across. Let's fire at them. Let's keep moving. Prince Albrecht is a little hurt. I'm going to move him back to regain that stamina. I'll keep him here, though, because the officer is there, and the officer should boost Kurfstein, who's a renowned unit. And we should win this left flank. This area is dangerous. You can see the Lamelets is faltering. Itzenplitz is... These guys are just incredible morale. Dragoons are trying to push that right flank. What happened to my Saxon Musketeers? Oh, man. I looked down at the unit card. They're getting triple fired on. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. It looks like we've really won the left flank, but this right on that hill is really hurting us, and all that artillery's firing. They've even got some cavalry guarding the artillery back there. The general needs to go rally these guys. They need to go switch to canister, which they can. And I should double up my fire there with the artillery. And then I'll go take out the dragoons. They can rally, because you can see the morale there. So I'm going to finish them off and move across. Let's fire a volley and then advance. Not that effective. Let's just get up there. I've got my reserve. I'm going to have my charging Bavarians move up, fire a volley, and try to push these guys off of us. There we go. Where's the general? Friedrich is there. Prince Xaver is going to fall back, because you can see that advance in the middle. We're holding the left. Their cavalry rallied. And we want to deal with that. Let's see if we can win it. Let's bring in our cavalry over here. Pause that. Check the right. Our Chevaliers are falling back, but we're going to beat that Dragoon there. We got to fall back against the Itzenplitz, because that's just a losing battle. I'm going to fire my one volley and charge in. And I've got what? How much charge? 43 charge, 57 melee. Way better than them. Get in there, guys. Beautiful. Look at the morale. Okay. Good job. We rallied the Saxon Musketeers. I'm going to pull back up. We've got all of our artillery focus firing. So let's change the focus fire, because that unit is broken. Xaver and the Saxons are holding the town pretty well. We've got to wrap this flank up and get these guys over. So you know what I have to do is I have to get them into assault columns. I'm going to let them fire their last volley and then charge them. And on the left, I think we finished off the cav. So we're going to come back. This is the command aura, so I've got to get him under command range to rally him. I'm going to get this guy to fall back. That guy needs to rally. So we're going to try to do that the best we can. I'm going to fall this guy back. Our charge is going really well. These Bavarians are kicking ass right now. He's coming back to rally. This guy's going to fire his last shot. There you go, guys. And then charge in and try to clear out that left. All artillery is focus firing. Good job, Bavarians. Cannonballs are bouncing. Nice bounce. Slammed into that line a little bit. There we go. Okay, fall these guys back. And the Lamanites are going to cover for them, and they're going to run back. Cav is going to rally there. We got our cav here. We're going to form a new cavalry brigade of 3 on the right. We're good there. We're good here. We're good there. On the left, we rallied our cavalry on the left as well. We're going to sit both of them on the road to drink out of their little canteens and see how their stamina is low. If you sit them on the road, they're going to restore their stamina faster. We do have one cav to worry about, though. We're going to clear out these Prussians on the left and form up. I'm going to walk so we don't burn out. All that artillery is just focus firing and should knock out that entire Hungarian unit. We're pulling these Bavarians out of there. And look at this big cavalry force that we've assembled. The generals assembled for a counterattack. I might do a mass charge against the Itzenplitz and try to break them. This Lamanites has got to fall back. The glorious cavalry coming over the hill to save the day. I'm pulling these guys all the way back. Let's fire. Oh, the Hungarians are shattered. Look at that. 390, 480, 338. Artillery's doing awesome. Let's focus fire on them next. We're rallying over here, but look at that cav, it's back. So what could I do? I think I still have that bug with the reload where they're not reloading. Oh no, they're using their carbines. But cavalry has a little bug where they aren't fully reloading their carbines, and I want to try to solve that. I don't know why that's happening. It's not a huge deal, but let's get these guys back on the road. Okay. They're good. Good, and we've got our Still got this big heavy right flank. I think I'm ready to just commit to this charge. I'm going to use the Lamolets to cover for them so that they absorb any fire that comes in. And Friedrich Michael is going to have everybody surge forward and charge in. Oh, let's go. He's going to follow. Let's get in there. Let's get in there, guys. Where's the general? Get the general to rally them. My morale's faltering. If I just get the general in time. Come on, get back, guys. Get back. There we go. These guys are holding pretty well. They fell back. How's our cab on the left? Okay, the cab is good. Damn, all the cav got routed. I gotta fall back. I mean, we did a lot of damage, but yeah, that's a shame. And I'll try to rally them all. Damn, their cav keeps coming back. This is a really tough battle, isn't it? It didn't look like it was going to be this tough. God damn. It's just because the Christ troops, like half our dudes are Lamolets fighting like veteran musketeers. See, the Imperial Lamolets is just not very good, so... Ah, that Lamolets is gone. He's going to get charged. He is gone. The general's chasing to try to get all that cav back. That sucks. I'll probably get one cav back. I think the other two are goners. Artillery needs to switch targets. I'm gonna have everyone focus fire the center. We're out of ammo, so he is gonna get out of there. There we go. Broke those musketeers. It says my stream is like lagging and stuff. Connect your encoder to go live. Am I connected? I should be connected. Oh, who shattered? Who the hell shattered? Like, probably a guy on the right. Yeah, these guys shattered. The Dragoons are hunting them. So Friedrich Michael rallied one of the Chevalier. We'll form up our tired Bavarians. We'll get up there. And the left flank is going really well for us. It's the one area we're doing good on. That guy's going to retreat, unfortunately. I think we'll get it. There we go. There we go. Damn, that cavalry on the left, like, held everything down. And the cavalry on the right did not do that well. Let's focus fire in the center. We got engaged in a charge, it seems. Oh, they're cutting us down. I don't know what to do. I can rally those musketeers back. Okay, the cannons helped. This artillery is like saving my ass right now. Come on, guys. They can't fire into their own friendlies, so I'm just gonna have to charge them. Try to rescue them. Oh, we're getting charged. I need to fire on them quick. Okay, we kicked those Dragoons out. Well, let's move the Musketeers over. Gosh, this is tough. All right, our left flank is super, super strong, though. Super strong on the left. Let's move down here. Completely out of ammo on both guns. I'm gonna get them out of there. And the Bavarians are firing on them. Switch to volley fire and have the general rally. These guys are exhausted in the rear. Ah, jeez. Alright, let's keep moving up. How's their artillery doing? They have ammo still. Yeah. Do we have any other cav on the left, or is it all gone? No cav, do we? We have one cav. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna have this cavalry just knock out the 2 artillery there. Those Itzenplitz are still causing problems for us, aren't they? Do we dare engage them in a melee? No, because our melee's worse. So we just have to do a standing firing match against them. With low ammo. I guess we are charging. Here we go. Actually, can I do... There we go. Could I get the general in to rally them before the impact is made? Let's see if we could win this, guys. Let's see if we could win that melee. I kind of don't want to know. Let's see. Let's see if they win it. Let's just watch and see who wins. And the general's on the way, and some cavalry's on the way. And the Itzenplitz are holding the line. The general's here. I'm going to get a morale buff. We know that. Just in time. Oh, beautiful. We got it. We're going to get it. General's going to come in to help out. And just force them back. There we go. Good job. And look. It's the Itzenplitz revenge. Itzenplitz revenge. Cut him down, guys. Cut him down. Who the hell killed them? More artillery. I have no ammo left. I'm going to fire this shot at point blank. And then I'm going to charge and rally. Look, my cavalry's doing well. Let's bring them all in. Get in here, guys. Get in here. Nice, there we go. Excellent. God, this was like probably my favorite battle I've ever fought in this game. It was really fun. That was so close. It's just because we did such a risky strategy to get a ton of recruits, but now it's going to pay off because all those recruits have so much experience from this battle. Let's keep it moving, guys. Let's go. I think we did it. Wow, yeah. That was a super dynamic battle. That was fun. That's the build for the HRE. Yeah, I think so. We haven't really done a very much of a build though. We've got a lot of recruits. It's a good strategy for the HRE. Like you could do the debt maxing with any composition, by the way. I did it with the Saxons and got 12,000 manpower that I didn't even use. So yeah, we don't need the manpower from that. We've got plenty. Probably don't even need the money, to be honest. I could just take the veterancy because we have all recruits, right? So let's get a ton of veterancy and just level everybody up. There we go. Look at all the promotions. Tons of promotions around. Get rid of all this Lamolets. This guy's a 5, right? So we can get him down to a Palatine Musketeer. There. Now we're professionalizing, you see. Regenerate the flag. Get a nice Palatine. I like that color. That's nice. And then, I would have enough to get the next brigade pretty soon. Musket And carbine costs, combat effectiveness, or artillery. I love the German arm production. That sounds great. Just buy a bunch of good muskets. And then we'll go a little bit longer. Kelly's doing her bath, and then when she is done, then I will be done. We could do cavalry veterancy gain. I love that because we are running cavalry. Württemberg musketeer, he might be useful from 4 encampments, sure. We'd be fighting the same factions again, though. Should we reroll and see? Should I reroll once to see if we can get different factions to fight? Like the Russians. Nah, we didn't get any new ones. Resource costs isn't useful. Attrition's not useful. I gotta reroll one more time. Any Russians? Damn, only Saxony. Recruitment cost, 35% less. I don't really need that. Damn, I kind of screwed us, didn't I? Horse Grenadiers are great, though. Oh, this is, fire damage received minus 10%, but higher flanking damage. And we get Horse Grenadiers. Is there a way to reload? Because I feel like I didn't want to reroll. Because I'm only doing it for variety, for enemy variety. Let's see if there's an autosave. If there's not, I'll do my other save. Nah, there's no save, so we're gonna go forward. There we go. And we have Bavaria. That's where we're headed. For less fire damage and Horse Grenadiers. Okay, temperatures plummet. The reroll costs reset. Yeah, the reroll costs are a little buggy, I noticed. This is the first implementation of them. I'll probably fix that next month because we're doing our Christmas vacation. Like, the whole team's going on Christmas break, so I think I'll just let everybody go on break and not bother them. I don't think it's a huge deal. This is such a giant update as it is. Supply cache. Just get a little bit of everything there. Let's go knock out that encampment. Probably go up to Freisling or Fusen. It's 14,000 there, damn. Do I need officer training? I mean, I've got lots of promotions there. I want to get the infantry up because they suck right now. So I need... regiments in... Is the game updated already? It is updated, and there's a free DLC and a demo. Alright, look at that. So, he's a level 6 now. So, what did we want to go, like, Württemberg with him? So, look at that. We got a Württemberg, a Palatine, a Bavarian, and a Kreis. One of each. We've got our Bavarian here. He could be a reserve. I do like him a lot, though. He's better than this guy. I'm kind of tempted to disband. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I'm somewhat tempted to, like, put him in reserve and just go for another Saxon unit that I want. Like, move him here. Put this guy there and just get that 4th Saxon I want and just have a nice little reserve pool. I don't think there's anything wrong with just having a nice reserve in the back. This guy's level 5. We could put him toward Kreis maybe and then make him like a grenadier or something. This guy, we could go... Let's make him a dragoon because he's not going to get much combat experience. So these are just my reserves. And then I don't have enough ammo. That's the big thing. I could do promotions. This guy's like my veterancy. He's going to have like the worst units, so he needs like a lot of morale related stuff. Fire damage received. Veterancy gain. Probably another veterancy gain, right? Just stack it. Notice it has combat effectiveness and less fire damage. Don't really need these. And range isn't bad. I actually like focused. That's not bad. Just let these guys outshoot, outrange. Basically means they get the first volley, so I do like that. I have a lot of items. Probably not going to touch many of them right now. Let's swing around that patrol. I don't want to deal with it. Let's go up to Friesling. We need to reform this army a little bit more. I desperately need to just get that last brigade up, because I have the room for it. I also have the manpower to get veteran musketeers. Ooh. But I want to get veteran Saxons. That's what I want. So I don't want these guys yet. Don't need an officer. Gunsmith, don't want yet because we're going to get that doctrine. I'll sell... The liber chests are absolutely necessary. Cartridge boxes are decent too. Don't need the toe worms. I like the entrenchments. Those aren't bad. Haversacks are good. Don't really need these. T for accuracy. I feel like 40 for 4 accuracy, 2 reload. It's a little pricey. Get rid of this. Actually, it normally costs 80. That's surprising. Well, I'll sell this. I'll be at 1,700. I need 2,400 for that last brigade. Maybe what we do is buy a little bit of ammo. Gosh, we were swimming in ammo before. We're really struggling with ammo now. And then I might raid this place. Oh! I don't want to fight them. Because I have, like, no ammunition. I've got, like, no ammo. You know what we'll do? We'll just dump the ammo from our reserves. Because I'm not using these right now. And then put that ammo back in there. And a little bit there. The cannons have no ammunition. Let's get rid of it off the cavalry and transfer the munitions over. There we go. Maybe all the cav can get like one shot off. Let's do something like that. There we go. That looks pretty nice to me. Give them that. And who needs the cartridge boxes? I don't know yet, but the limber chest is useful. This guy ran out of ammo quick. He can get a promotion, which is very good. Excellent. There we are. And we're in good shape. Let's see if we can just muster for a day. Yeah, we got 1 day of mustering in to replenish. And they're going to bring Hungarian Grenadiers, Hungarian veterans, a bunch of Jaegers, and then Netherlander units with artillery. This is a very interesting kind of build they're bringing. So they've got some good guys, but they've only got 3 brigades we're facing. Okay. Big open field on this map with 1 hill in the middle. I don't even remember making this map. What the hell is this? I don't remember making this at all. Oh, this is an old map. Yeah, it's an old one. I remember it now. Get all the cav massed. It'd be cool to do like a big massed cavalry charge. I would like that. It'd be fun to play France and do that. I kind of want to do like a French campaign on the endless mode. Turn on all the enemies and see if I can conquer Europe. I would enjoy doing that as like a long playthrough. Put it on the hardest difficulty and just see if I can make it. I'll concentrate all the artillery on the left there. Is the new DLC out now? It is. There's a free demo if you haven't bought the game yet, and there's a free DLC, so lots of free stuff. Let's form these guys up. Here, we're going to hold that farmstead, and then all the cav is going to protect the artillery. All that artillery is going to form up there with the cavalry in protection. I got my Württemberg Musketeers. We're going to check them out because we got these new nationalities with Kreis. Okay, so we get the Kreis Musketeers in like kind of a medium blue jacket. Our Bavarians in a lighter blue. And then we've got these dark blue with a double crossbelt Württemberg troops, and they're pretty cool. We've got Friedrich Michael. He'll go on the right. And then we've got these white uniform Saxons. We'll kind of draw up our troops in the town. And then we have the Palatine Musketeers. And I do love the Palatine uniform. Look at the tricorn, how it has that pattern on it. So they're pretty cool. Let's check to see if the artillery is formed up. Hopefully this is an easier battle. I think it will be, because that HQ is tough. But I've got a great artillery force set up now. And a real nice cavalry corps. I just need more upgrades on the cavalry. I'd like to give the cavalry more experience to get them all upgraded even further. So I wouldn't mind crossing that river and just doing a huge swing and just try to collapse that left flank there. Are they going to try to fight me? They're trying to reform their lines and then advance. They got a lot of light infantry in the center with veteran Jaegers. Those guys are tough. 85 accuracy. That's crazy. What kind of gun they have? Wow, he's got a good Charleville. Yeah, that right flank's going to have a tough time. I'm stacking all this cavalry, though. I want to concentrate fire there. Actually, I'm going to fire there because cavalry, I don't want to... Damn, it's grenadiers. I mean, it's kind of a bad target. Maybe I'll just have baited them and just run around and go engage the skirmishers instead. And let these guys kind of hang out. I'm going to swap this guy to canister pretty soon. We're holding this line here. I don't want to fire at the skirmishers because you just don't do much damage against them. Palatine unit's going to move up. Got Xaver holding the town. Not much cover there. Maybe if I walk forward, he'll go into the buildings. There we go. Look at that cover fill right up. Beautiful. And then I'll try to get these guys kind of in the courtyard a little bit. Get them some cover. There we go. Just a little bit. And then what do we got? We swung around. We kind of left the artillery a little precarious. Swap to canister. Swap everything to canister. And just concentrate fire. And yeah, we've got to go help out. We've got a death charge. We've got a death charge, unfortunately. I'll move one cav over to go take care of the Jaegers. The rest, though, have to go take care of this. Okay, we're moving in. Okay, we got him. Let's switch over the river. And then have all three of the artillery fire there. There we go. Look at the canister. We're just destroying this guy with all the canister shot. There we go. Stacked everything against those grenadiers. We're really tired on the left there. How's the center? Jeez. Oh, the Hungarians are pushing us. Guess the general could try to rally it. Württemberg already fell back. Yeah, the Jaegers are deadly. I mean, this one doesn't have many kills, but this guy's 90-0. Let's move up. Does he outrange us? He does outrange us with a John Coping. Surprisingly. Okay, the artillery did good. I really enjoy my artillery. It feels pretty balanced now. It used to be super weak, but I'm enjoying using it. I guess you could say, like, would it be easier to have that these three artillery pieces or just another three infantry? But I guess you're paying all that extra cost in the manpower and everything to preserve or to maintain. And the artillery also does extra high morale damage, so sometimes it's not getting as many kills as the infantry, but you're actually getting higher morale damage. Oh, jeez. I'm going to charge those nasty Jaegers. Try to get around here. Oh my gosh. The route. What did they do? Did they fire canister into me? Huge route. Huge route. I mean, the generals retreated off the board. Yeah, this is super dangerous. Super dangerous. At least one cavalry got there. Wipe them out. That officer should help rally that chevalier. They should be firing on them now. Prince Xaver, I'm going to fall back. Damn, this guy shouldn't be falling back. That's a shame. He's about to regenerate his stamina. That guy came back, thank God. Okay, we've got some troops that came back. These guys both came back. Alright, yeah, that was a huge morale shock. But we're coming back now. I'm going to retarget them. This guy rallied up the Saxons. Good. Prince Xaver kind of rallied these troops in the back. Those veteran Jaegers are killing me. We'll use this officer to go rally these guys. We have a big morale problem right now. We have a huge morale problem. I mean, it's my fault I lost my officer. But yeah, it's pretty rough. Focus firing there. We got all of our cav back, which is great. We're going to mass charge our cav into the light infantry. Yeah, that was real close. We almost lost everything. Okay, we're doing better now. One of our cav broke. Okay, sending this cav in next. There we go. I'm going to fall them back. And then charge back in. There we go. Took care of the light infantry. They're gone now. We got a little more cav left. And we're slowly getting back to where we need to be. Yeah, the HRE is definitely a little harder if you're really leaning to those recruits, because those recruits suck and you've got to get upgrades in. Like, even the upgrades we have now, we just need to get veterans and grenadiers up quick. Because these guys are just not performing as good as they need to. There we go. Let's take him out. How's the artillery ammo? Pretty low. I need better lumber chests. We need to invest in better lumber chests. There we go. Alright, we got it. That was close. We had a moment where like half the guys were retreating. And then we pulled it back. That patrol was tough. I think that first patrol is always really tough when you enter a new region, because you just came off the HQ battle. And we need the cash and ammo. Yeah, that's perfect. 1,000 ammo is great. Excellent. So that should... Yeah, you burn through ammo, don't you? And we've got plenty of manpower still. We have a huge piggy bank of manpower. We can open that 3rd Brigade, and look, we can dump all these extra units into it now. Look at that. Huge expansion. And this is meant to be mainly cavalry, but I think we have to play with what we got right now. Move him over here. That's all artillery. And I'll swap him over. And then we can swap all of these guys. There. All the cavalry's kind of centralized on the right. Cavalry charge. Sounds good. Let's see if we can get any veterancy up. He needs one more to upgrade. This guy needs one more as well. Bavarian Musketeers are ready to upgrade into veterans. That's incredible. Very good. That's not as bad of a bug. I'll regenerate these guys. And let's do... I like a pink color on my Bavarians. I like that. And these guys were built for charging, but the thing is Bavarians are typically better for shooting. So I think what we should do is probably respec them. Get rid of their items. This is a great set of items for charging, but Bavarians aren't as meant for that because they have decent accuracy. So let's grab a different guy with like... It's also a John Coping. We've got a Potsdam. Give him a Potsdam. And maybe like a canteen. I want the cartridge box on probably like this guy because he fires pretty quick. 34 seconds. I mean, it's 32 for the Bavarian already, so we'll give him the cartridge box. Palatines are usually good for charging, so I'm gonna respec him to B for charging. And I want to keep this pontoon on him to upgrade him eventually. We'll give the gun pick to the Bavarian because he's gonna be shooting fast. Who's got the entrenchments? Our Kreis unit. He's like our bulwark, so we're gonna give him entrenching tools as well. And I think slowly but surely we're kind of pulling ourselves out of the hole. And look, we're still using fucking worn muskets, so we need to get those replaced. Just grab some more items, get these guys decked out. And we have room for an extra officer. He's an artillery officer, but he'll do for now. This artillery guy needs to be upgraded. Morale damage received, command radius. I don't mind having an extra radius. Oh, command radius morale. Sure. Cover. He doesn't need cover. Yeah, let's do morale. This way the artillery, if it ever gets hit by accident, it'll stay. We can become veteran artillery, which is great. That's excellent. From being one of the easiest and 10 of the hardest, how difficult is the HRE? I would honestly say, man, Gaston, I would say this feels... Now, I haven't played the game in a while as the other nations, but this feels like 7 or 8... No, it feels like 8 difficulty, I would say. I think Britain is like a 4, and this has got to be like a 7 or an 8. Because it's a little tough to start with these recruits, and then I think the payoff is really delayed. Like, I'm still using regular musketeers, regular musketeers, regular musketeers. I have very few veterans at the moment. And look, all my Chevalier are basic provincial cav, basically. If I can just get one more veteran, see, I've got cuirassiers, Tattercav, all these high-tier units. I just got the veteran artillery, so I'm getting there, but it just takes a while to pull these guys out. I think I'll go... I wouldn't mind having a grenadier. I might save up to be a grenadier for him. And I have another musket. If anyone has a worn musket, I can get rid of it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Just equipping items. I'm not really being too specific about it. We're going to finish looting this town. And then we need to secure encampments. They're all concentrated down there. And then convoys. Everything's on the right side of the map. We kind of got screwed there, but we just got to blitz over then. Wow, lots of great items. Beautiful. Let's get the better lumber, or the elevation screws on them. Swap out those good ramrods for the Bavarians who are going to be firing quickly. Plus 8 charge, we'll want that. Probably on this guy, and morale and fire damage received less. That's an excellent item. Give that to these Imperial Dragoons. Plus that. Let's move on. Let's get to the outpost. And we're going to be force marching. We have so much food. Let's just get moving. Defense is needed. We would get items or items. Well, don't really want to get items. It's not really worth it to me. Convoys and encampments. We're probably going to swing south. We'll go here. Do we want to do anything here? Maybe just sell off. Their sell value is worse. Can I buy like a good... Oh, an Imperial Cuirassier. I could buy an Imperial Cuirassier. That could be nice. I want to lean more into light cav, but we have 1, 2, 3 light cav and, 4 light cav and 2 heavy. I'd put the Dragoons in reserve, honestly. I would take... Oh, I can't even afford it. I mean, I could buy... Do I really need the Cuirassier? I'll wait. I'll wait, because I don't need them right now. I'll go to a town, and I want to get, like, a veteran Saxon or something cool. Oh, jeez. We'll just do that. Oh, lost 1,000 reservists. That sucks. Field hospital. I'll share it. That's fine. Just get those men back. Go to this encampment. We will feed them. That's fine. And then we have one more encampment we can go up to there. A force march. I want to avoid fights right now because I just want to get this extra unit. Horse Grenadiers. Officers or units? Let's do the units again because the officers are making enough progress, but I want those units to gain more veterancy. We need the ammo though, for sure. I'm going to get rid of it on my cav. Send these guys in for training. Get the Württemberg Horse Grenadier. That's what we want. Excellent. I'm going to take the weapon off and give that instead to the Chevalier there. Give him that. And he's already a veteran. Yeah. But look, his shooting stat is a 74 compared to a 37. So yeah, we want to give him the good shooting weapon. And then we've got to do convoys. I don't really care about the convoys, to be honest. If we get to them, we get to them. But I don't. That doctrine is like fine. It's just not that important. I'll muster a little bit. Let's muster up a little bit. There's an encamped army. Those are good to fight. That's a huge battle. Let's see if there's a fort. Lake siege. I think we could do it. Walls breached. We've got artillery. A lot of artillery. Assault after a lengthy bombardment. Spend 192 ammo. Charge the men in. I have so much manpower. I feel like we could just brute force it. 2,300. Damn, that didn't work. And I lost... Okay, yeah. No, I don't have a lot of manpower anymore. And I get a new doctrine. That's excellent. I got... Oh, that's definitely worth it. Look at that. Cavalry veterancy. I like that. Yes. That's what we wanted originally, I think. We need food, though. If you muster while you're starving, at least you gain some manpower to offset the loss. There. And then we can sell this crap off. I got these great weapons. I love... I want all my Saxons to use these nice Charlevilles. Oh, we got German engineering. A nice little achievement. I want to give this heavy socket bayonet to the Palatine unit. There we go. Nice. My Saxon brigade is looking good. Good. Then, the Christ Musketeers can get upgraded. I want them to become Christ Grenadiers, along with the Palatines. And then the Württembergs and the Bavarians can be shooters. 5 veterancy, needs 6 to be a Grenadier. The Chevalier are a 6, that's excellent. I want to keep them as light cav, so it'll become Tartar cavalry. Very good. Very, very good. Look at the charge. 61 charge. That's crazy. They can become veteran shooters. We'd have 2 veteran shooting units. We don't want... I think another Tartar cavalry would be nice. So we'll make these guys shooters. There, so we have 2 veteran carbine cav. Excellent. These guys I'm going to wait till they become Tartar cavalry. Like that. All 4 of these are light cav. That's heavy, that's heavy, that's heavy. And I got 3 heavy cav. This guy I'd be willing to replace, and then eventually just get 1 more cavalry to finish that slot. Which I think I would do a heavy cavalry at this point, if that's the theme. I also like the idea of doing a black jacket for him. What other thing we wanted to do? Graf Brule, maybe. They look pretty cool. And let's give them the uniform that we see here. Got kind of a gray. What is this color? Black. Is that black? I wonder why it says the coat is iron gray. That's interesting. So they have a more gray. That's kind of cool. And then a light blue. I kind of like that. And then the color there. And then the flag. We'll do like a white flag like this. And they're Graf Brule, Chevaulegers, Prince Albrecht. Then we've got the Saxon Tartar Cavalry. And we've got Graf Renard Ulanen. And then these guys are going to become Ulanen as well. And these Ulans, historically, you can see them here, were red. And the other ones are blue. So I'll have red and blue. They can be the blue ones. And these guys can be the red ones. Just need a little bit more veterancy. Unfortunately, you can't drill. That's a shame. And then these guys are good. We've got the Palatine Curveston Dragoons and the Württemberg Horse Grenadiers. Imperial Dragoons, we can name them later. Palatine, Kreis, Bavarian, Württemberg, one of each. And then for our Saxons, let's model these guys. We've got the Prince Xaver. We'll have Prince Friedrich August. We'll do Prince Maximilian. These guys are Bavarians, so we're going to probably dump them and then pick up Saxons instead. So we're going to ignore them for now. And the Friedrich August is in yellow. They've got a yellow flag too. So it looks kind of like this. It's like red on the outside, yellow there. That's perfect. And then like that. You can see here, that's their flag there on the right. So that's kind of what we're modeling that after. And then the uniform is just a nice yellow color like this. In fact, I think that flag I was looking at, no, the color is good. I could even do that. That looks nice. Let's do that. I think that actually looks kind of nice. And then the trousers are white. Let's make this yellow. Very nice. Then we have the Prince Maximilian. Maximilian wore green, so they're already correct. Silver. Green and green. I mean, yeah, that's the perfect flag. And the uniform is correct. Sometimes, again, I like to take the waistcoat and make it like a lighter shade, just to add a little contrast. I think that's kind of nice. Could probably do it here as well. Kind of like that. Would be nice. There, I like this little setup I have. This guy will eventually go in reserve too. Those will just be 2 reserve regiments I have. And then we just need 1, 2, 3 slots filled with what I need. Why are those weapons? The cost is broken with them. I don't know why. That's just a bug with the German arms production. I already wrote down the bug, but I don't know why it's happening. We get to get an excellent engineer for 15% max range. I kind of like that for the artillery. Let's grab one of those. And look at this veteran artillery, we can just give it 566 range. Yeah, that's great. And in terms of recruitment, we don't really have anything we want here. There's 1,600 guys there. If we fight that battle, we can get the veterancy we need. I do need to grab ammo. That's good enough. Bring them into the fight. Battle of München. We've got a little bit of Netherlander Fusiliers, and then mainly Grenzers, Austrians, Hungarians, double Hungarians, lots of Hungarians there. Ah, so it's a completely foreign army. It's all made up of Grenzers, Grenzers, Hungarians, and a couple Netherlander troops of the Netherland Freikorps. That's why they have the yellow coat. Hungarian Hussars are tough, but we have a good cavalry arm that we've built. Has everybody, who here hasn't tried the game yet? Has anybody not tried the game and they're on the fence, or anybody who's thinking about it, but they are going to try it, or where's everybody at? And who's tried out the DLC yet? I wonder how the reviews for the DLC are doing, because it hasn't been tested extensively, and I hope people are liking it. It's got positive reviews so far. Looks like there's one negative review on it. And he didn't like... What did he not like? It's in Chinese. Maybe some translation's wrong. Let's see what he did not like about it. Me, it looks complicated. Yeah, it's a little complex. I mean, it's not too hard once you... I'm going very quickly. That's a thing, so... He said he bought the support pack, and I changed a color changing system that removed metallic reflection on chest armor. Okay, that's has nothing to do with the DLC, but it's alright, I'll take it. And yeah, I think things otherwise are going okay. Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at some comments. I want the game, but money's tight right now. Thinking of getting it with my tax return. Gotcha. Well, it's going to stay on sale for 26 for a little while. So you've got some time. And then we've got this artillery here. This might be the last battle of the night, because it's already 12 o'clock. Yeah, this is the last battle of the night, guys. Now that I have a good cavalry force, it'd be fun to do... These are my horse grenadiers, they look cool. It would be cool to do like a big mass charge. I've been wanting to try to do that, but I've been kind of failing at it. My artillery is pretty good too. We have our Graf Ulanen. Where's our proper Ulanen? There they are. There we go. We're gonna have like the Uhlans and the Chevalier hang out. Actually, you know what? Uhlans will come in with the main cavalry, and then the Chevalier is gonna hang out in the flanks and just guard. This is like my German section. Move up that little German section forward. Get these guys up. Get the artillery up as well. And this is my big cavalry force that's ready to do a huge charge when the time is right. With the general in the middle. There we go. And we've got a lot of Hungarians, so they've got a lot of melee expertise. These are the new Netherlander Freikorps Fusiliers. Forming a little block in the middle. Damn, our artillery is already in range. That's excellent. I'm going to try to concentrate the fire toward one unit. Probably take out the unit who doesn't have the cover. That guy's cover, so I probably want to fire on the right there. have this guy fire there too. I like to concentrate your fire with the artillery. Makes it more effective. I'm gonna move these guys up to the hedges. Yeah, they're doing good already. How much is the paid demo? The demo is free. The demo is free. So there is no paid demo. It's the whole point. Damn, those grenadiers are getting in close. Look at all that cav ready. If they get too close. I kind of the Netherlander Fusiliers don't have great melee, so I kind of want to break through that center. Are you ready for the giant cavalry charge? Here we are. Let's go for it. 2 there. Go for that. We'll have him this way, and then we'll have this guy in the middle. There we go. Let's go for it. Here we are. Yeah, the demo is live now, and it will be here to stay. So if you can't afford the game, you can definitely play the demo. There we go. We got a general right in the middle. Let's break through that center. Just brute force it. There we go. We got to follow them too. Cut them down. That's very satisfying to have worked with this cavalry for so long and it finally paid off. I do like that. Damn, that's a huge cavalry force on the left. Oh, jeez. All right. Oh, man. Prince Maximilian, you gotta hold, buddy. I'm gonna fire up my artillery in there. Hopefully we'll get somebody. There we go. Yeah, this charge makes me want to play France as well because they've got great cavalry. So I'd love to have just a huge, excellent cavalry force. All right, the artillery is holding there. I wouldn't mind if artillery was just a little bit stronger. Because I invested a lot in those guns, and I just wish they were... Like, this cavalry feels powerful. I feel like I can just push through. Shouldn't have charged my general, whoops. But I can just power through there. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, look in the left. Hold fire. Oh, man, they already fired. Oh, man, I'm getting wiped out over there. That's not good at all. I respect it is not on the App Store, unfortunately, so it is not a mobile title. Yeah, they overpowered the left massively. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. The Hussars are deadly. These guys are exhausted, too, from trying to break the center. Damn, my Palatine Musketeers. These are guys with the good heavy socket bayonet. They're holding the line. That's good. The rest of the left is broken, though. They're still cutting these guys down. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got it. That was just a little tough on the left. We really overinvested in the center and we broke through it. But that left routed a few of our regiments. We still did fine, though. Made a good amount of money on that, too. And do we want the reservists? Ton of ammo and money. Probably want this. Because we're always out of ammo. You're just burning through it so much. There we go. Okay, we're all full. We're actually out of manpower for the first time. We'll muster for just a little bit. And we should gain a lot of manpower per day. 760 is very good. I'm actually going to do this until I muster a recruit. And then disband the recruit, most likely. Unless he's a Saxon. I would take a Saxon recruit. 40%, come on. Yeah, I don't want those Imperial recruits. I want a good Saxon recruit. That's what I want. Winter. Having an issue upgrading to Prussian field artillery. What's your issue, Spectre? I'm gonna roll the dice one more time and see if I get the Saxon that. Oh crap! I didn't see that. Yeah, I want to get one more Saxon to complete that brigade. Fuck. I don't want these units. I don't want the Imperials. At least I got tons of manpower. I have 15,000 from that. We're going to cut across the Landshut. I'm going to cut across these mountains here. And then we're going to sell off a bunch of stuff. And grab a lot of food. I'll keep the implements. Don't need those. Upgrading from battalion artillery to field artillery. Do I want to upgrade and not upgrading when I click yes? How much veterancy do you have? And I can check. I think it's under campaign data. Where would it be? Where are the upgrade trees? I think they might be in the campaign data. I respect. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it, man. Can you give me a hint of the next video? The next video is going to be the fall of the Roman Empire, but that's our last video that we're making. For now. Saxon battalion artillery is not bad, but I want field artillery. Like, these just aren't good enough units for me. Christ Musketeers. I could just grab the Christ Grenadiers, who I wanted anyways. The upgrade button is not engaging. You know, I really don't know, man. I'm looking through. I don't know where the unitary is. How much veterancy do you have? You have a battalion artillery. You need 3 veterancy to upgrade. And then I would try reloading your save as well, potentially. That might fix it. Gosh, there's supposed to be 2 extra artillery here, but... What, a battalion gun? I don't want a battalion gun. And no Saxons. I'm getting very unlucky. I might have to go to Dachau there. Just buy tons of food. I'll forage for a little bit. Do I need an officer? I do need one. But I didn't get one. Shit. It's 3 points is the requirement. Yeah, that's very strange. I've never had that happen to me. That's very strange. Raise a new regiment. If we had a Gorget... No. War uniforms, we don't have that either. We just take the reservists for that. Still nothing good. I just can't find anything good at these regiments. It's just, or these towns. It's a shame. Well, that's nice. An excellent quality musket would be good. I mean, here's the thing, though. Is this 260? I feel like this doctrine isn't doing anything. Yeah, I think that doctrine is broken, unfortunately. Gosh, what do I want to do? I couldn't find any of the units I wanted. This little group will just have to chill for now. Imperial Dragoons. This guy can at least get an upgrade. That's pretty nice. I do like that. Try adding them in the basket and then go back to the shop again. Okay, I'll take a look at that. So you said, put a 260 weapon in the basket, leave and come back. 260. 260 still. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh. Yeah, it just breaks them. So the math is just wrong there. I can hot fix that tomorrow. It's easy enough to hot fix. There we go. I like that. Haha, I can go... Yeah, but I want to make him a grenadier, didn't I? Yeah, everybody's kind of upgraded where they need to be. We're looking good. I have a good Tula I can give someone. They can get it. I have some gunner implements. Give them to them. Some cav pistols. Could give it to these guys. Good shoes. Württemberg's meant to be fast, so they can get the shoes. And... okay. I'm going to try mustering one more time. I'm going for it. I'm debt maxing, guys. Give me the unit I want. Uh-oh, we got winter. We're going to be consuming a ton of food. I'll set myself up for the next battle, but I'm not going to fight it right now. I'd probably fight that encamped army up top and get a ton of loot from it. This one up top. Yeah, see, I'll debt max, but Imperial Amulets, that's not what I wanted. Then I'd fight this and get the food from it. Yeah, I just wish I got the Saxon. That's such a shame. I get these level 5s, and look, I could make him all these great units, but... I'm just being OCD. Like, if you're truly leaning into the HRE, you'd have a very mixed force, but I want everything to match perfectly. I theoretically, as well, could just recolor a unit. Like, you could just do this. And suddenly... Look at this. You can make him a Saxon infantry unit. So, you know, it doesn't really matter. If I were to do that, though, I'd probably do it with him. Put that guy in reserve. The last, I can't define the percentages, unfortunately. Well, you know, I could define them a little bit. Let me see. You might be right. Let me check. I currently have the weight of the Imperial Recruit as 200, and a Lamelets as 50, and then a Saxon at 150. So what we could do is go 150 here. Let's have everything add up to 300 perfectly. That's 200, that's 100 now. What did it used to be? 250. 400. It used to be 400 with the ratio of... Yeah, I think this ratio here... There, that ratio is now 1/3 of the recruits you get would be Saxon. In fact, I wouldn't even mind if it was a little higher, like 125. And then you get to Act 2 and it's 50-50. I don't mind that. Let me check what the other nations are. 50-50. Lamelet's at like a 30. 50-50 at a 30. Yeah, right now it's 50-50 with a little bit of a Lamelet's bias. I could even bump this up to 60. Yeah, I think that'd be nice. Just so there's a little bit more Saxons, because I just never see them. Wouldn't it be worse if you go 150, 100? Well, I think the way the math works here is that's 200. That's 125. That's more than 1/3 of a chance. I think the way it worked before was less than a third. This should be better. I've also just reduced the recruit weight generally, so you should see more musketeers and stuff just a little bit more often, which should be good. I also feel like the chance to see a reserve artillery should probably be a little lower in Act 2. They're not as useful. So what I think I would do, anything that is reserve artillery, I'm going to lower the weight by 5 in Act 2, because I just don't want to see them as much. You know, I haven't even seen a veteran artillery at all. So I think for everyone, I'm going to lower this down. Just so those pesky reserve artilleries are not flooding up your... Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, it should be a 1530 there. Oh. There, these are the correct weights. Fixing those. There, that weight actually got completely fixed, which is very good. There, that's lowered the weights both there. That's much better. I'm just going to move that down to a 15. I think Freikorps artillery being a little rare in Act 1 is fine. I could even go 20, actually. And then this goes down to 15. Yeah, that's much better. Okay, that should be good. That should mean that the low-level artillery should be a little less common to see in Act 2. And that this, the other thing I changed is just that the Saxons will appear just a little bit more often. And then this is a good spot to save. Like, what I would do here is I'd probably fight this battle, make probably 1,500 from it, be completely out of debt. I've got 20k manpower, so I wouldn't need that. I would probably take this force on and that force. These are the two armies I'd beat. Use enough of the items in the veterancy to just deck out the rest of the army, get a nice max stack, and be ready for that HQ battle. And then I'd be propelled into Act 3. I didn't really explore much of this map, to be honest. I wish I took on more of the encounters. I just didn't have much time. So I'll call this Saxony. But yeah, that's a good run. I had fun there. I hope you guys enjoyed the little Master of Command. This is the new faction, so not everything's going to be balanced. I would say HRE is just a little bit weak at the moment. They don't feel like they have that power curve that a lot of the other nations have. I think some of the upgrade costs could probably be just come down just a little bit, maybe. I think the stats are mostly fine. It just took me a while to get the ball rolling. which I was using like an exploit stat or a strategy in Act 1. But I just wish it paid off just a little bit more. So I might change it a little bit. But I'm not going to mess with anything because I want you guys to be able to play with it. And I also want to take off for Christmas because I've not had a break since I worked on this game, or since it released. I've been in crunch working on the game. So it'd be nice to have a break and give you guys an opportunity to test it out, play it, give me feedback, and that'd be good. We'll probably do one hotfix tomorrow, just with some minor changes. Like what I just changed on that Google Sheet will get implemented tomorrow. And then some of the bugs will also be fixed. And what else? And then I'll be gone until January. And then in January, I won't have any more videos to release. I'm going to release my last video on this channel. Last new video on this channel this Saturday. And then next year, I'll still put out content, but it'll be old stuff like compilation videos or old AHTV videos. So unfortunately, nothing new. So the last new video will be this weekend. And yeah, that's about it. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy the game. It's on sale. You can check it out. You can try the demo first, and the DLC is free. And I will see you later.